welcome to the stream. Tonight is Pegasusangel After Dark night, where we talk about these sus boys in amazingly fun ways, because none of them are sus, especially not Lucian. I'm really interested to see where the story's going from here, because things are getting weird. Last week, we found out that Gavin was like a captain of the, hello Vapor the Vaporeon, and hello Mingo Ninja. Captain of the, police force. We're seeing a random girl, and then we got invited to like this town square thing where someone literally died. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting, to say the least. Trevor, yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna be out of town doing 4th of July stuff with my family, but I have a Wi-Fi connection, so that might be something I do afterwards, depending on how late I'm able to stay up without keeping my family awake, you know. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing that in my spare time, even though I'll probably never get max hazard max level or whatever. But yeah, so last week, you're here early for once, nice. So yeah, last week, we got invited to this town square, and then this lady just died in front of us, and, Gavin is like captain of the force now. Everything is so confusing. I'm so confused. Why is everything so confusing? Anyway. We're gonna go into this, and we're gonna have some fun. It'll be a blast. Boop. Badoop. Okay. So we got our lovely keto on the screen. And, I am gonna be wearing reading glasses. Behold, this is now Kingdom Hearts. I mean, yeah. Yes. It's been crazy. Not gonna lie, it's been cray-cray. So yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes from here. Okay, so I got a bunch of text. But first I'm gonna get all of these. And then I should be able to upgrade some stuff too. So I don't know what these texts are, but let's see. I got one from everybody, including that one weird dude named Shaw that we met a couple weeks ago. With our sussy baka boys again. Hugs and head pats. Thank you for the hugs and head pats. I appreciate it. It's been a long day. I had to take a nap. I was not in a good mood. I was not doing well. Emotionally, and so yeah, hugs and head pats very much appreciated. I'm getting Blaster Directs to make an edit of a lot of Blaster Directs. I'm bored. Have fun with that. I'll see you later, Vapor. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Hello, Cool Breeze. It has been a minute. How have you been? All right, so let's see what Victor wants. The report tomorrow afternoon is canceled. I'm going to Paris on business. You were just there last week. Weren't you just there last week? This time is for official business. I thought last time was for business. I'm gonna sound jealous. I didn't work from home. I wouldn't be working. I get it. I'm gonna be jealous because I think he likes that. Huh? I thought you happened to be in France on business last time. You mean you thought you just randomly ran into me on the street to help you? I was so surprised. Seeing you on that unfamiliar street, you have no idea how surprised I was. I could tell from that goofy smile on your face, although it was a marked improvement from clutching your equipment and crying. If anything like that ever happens again, remember to contact me. Things are going all right with me. I had to go to work training today, and it was just really, really hard because it was a lot about looking at our past, and I just didn't really need to look at my past. I'm looking at my past with my therapist, and so I was not in a good mood. it's not from last stream. No. No, I'm not in a bad mood because of last stream. I got over that a long time ago. People are going to be the way they are with streamers. I just try to make it very obvious that just remember I'm a streamer, and if I wasn't streaming, I'd be playing it on my own, so I wouldn't have all the advice that people gave me, and I would be fine with that. But yeah, I had training, and it was going into a lot of our past and just stuff I didn't really want to do. Did it come unconnected? Really? Okay. That reminds me, didn't you tell me you met a student with a name like mine? I did indeed, did I? When? You are quite curious about this. You're not lying to me, are you? Are you not lying to me, right? Really? You're not lying to me, right? Dude, what is up with the lag on the phone? I just really... Okay, it seems Pegasusangel YT really is my smartest student. This is what it says. I don't know why it's having issues. I did lie to you, although I also lied to myself. I just really missed you, and I wanted to get a surprise like that from you. That's why I said that. Professor Lucian is actually a liar. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. The renowned Professor Lucian is actually a liar. It was only a tiny little joke. I hope you won't be mad. If you remember to keep in touch with me more regularly, then this kind of joke won't happen again. Rude! I'll have a real surprise next time. Next time if I have to go away on a shoot for a long time, I'll definitely prepare a real surprise for you. Actually, what I want more than a surprise is for you to keep in touch often, or else I might yet again be unable to resist going to the film location to find you. Whoa! He, like, literally went to the film location to find me? What? Okay, so this is because I'm in the welcome back phase again, because I got out of the game. That's why we're getting all these welcome back. OMG, I actually got that postcard you sent from the mountain. Postcard took longer than me. He's stalking you. Totally. But he's still not sus. He wants me to touch more often. Hola, Orville. The postcard actually took longer than me to arrive. And you actually wanted the postcard to be quicker than you. That's too much. But you know, next time you go to such a faraway place to shoot a show, you better tell me beforehand. I thought about you all the time. That farts... He's not sus that I'm a winged fairy that farts gold bars. I'm doing good. Oh, by the way, it's still 4th of July here in America until Sunday night. Or until Monday morning, I guess. So, my neighbors across the street are shooting off fireworks. Like, big fireworks. I may have to recalibrate this. Because it's not doing everything that it's supposed to. I may have been up to the mountains, but I was thinking of you the whole time. The postcard proves it. But this is just a bunch of drawings of food. I suddenly feel like you were up there living the high life, and I was here drudging away all by myself. Tat. Although these do looks pretty yummy. You guys really went all out on craft services. Yeah, I might have to reboot the A-Powersoft. I unlocked survival skills! It's not craft services. I unlocked a lot of wilderness survival skills in order to eat like this. I didn't know you were so skilled. When you get a chance, you'll have to tell me all about your time on set. Ah, I really want to taste your mountain cuisine too, Pegasusangel YT. Oh yeah, I brought a souvenir. You're munching on a 4th of July frosted cookie. Did it? Oh yeah, I bought a souvenir. Suddenly remember I actually have a souvenir for you. I'll bring it over in a bit, okay? No need. I'm heading your way. We can share a meal and chat about your mountain escapades. Okay. I gotta figure something out. Why is it doing this? Give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna try. It wasn't letting me hook up the way it was supposed to last time. Oh my gosh, that's loud. Okay, give me this. Exit the program. I think I'm going to melt some cheddar over some chips, or as they say in Espanol, salsa. You finally upgraded to the Switch OLED! Heck yes! How you liking it? I love the Switch OLED. I still wish it could be bigger though. Alright, let me get back into... Because I was trying to connect via Wi-Fi because my cord connector does not work well with this. But it wasn't letting me connect via Wi-Fi. Wireless connection. Oh, it worked that time. Okay. Alright, I'm officially connected via Wi-Fi. I'm assuming. Did it just immediately take me into... One sec. That's what she said. Finally, yeah, that's what she said. Right, I need to plug this in because it's out of battery. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why a PowerSoft decided to stop working all of a sudden. I'm paying for it. So it should be working. Alright. Connect via Wi-Fi. Local cast QR code. Maybe that's what I need to do. Okay. Let's do that. Let's grab that. How to connect via the QR code. I'm on the same... I'm on the same Wi-Fi network. Oh no, Horville, he gave Pegasus 96,000 new plushie ears and posters. Heck yes! But I will be arriving in a couple days. Heck yes. Which one did you get? Did you get like one of those special edition ones? Okay, why are you having issues? Why are you like for real? Let me try something. I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna try something. I think I know what might be causing it. We'll see what that does. We'll see what that does. Both of mine almost got the baseball bat treatment the other day. Oh no, why? It was, oh, nice. I'm getting for my Switch has the Hyrule emblem. Oh, I saw that 1 terabyte. I saw that 1 terabyte SD card and I was like, oh my gosh, but the one I have is already so much that I'm fine right now. Okay, this may have been what was going on. We'll just see. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. I figured out what was causing it. I troubleshot it. Everything is good. Let's go back to the game, guys. I gotta get out of this and go back to the game, like I said. Network reconnecting. Okay. Get it back on here for y'all. And there we go. Cool beans. All right. So basically just the vanilla OLED. I get that. I cannot believe that that was what caused it. It was such a little minor thing that I'm surprised that that's what caused it. We'll just see how this works now. Because it works better on Wi-Fi than when I connect it to the computer. Alright. No need, I'm heading your way. We can share a meal and chat about your mountain escape aids. Yours is 128 gigs and it's full. Holy cow, I think mine's like 200 something. Alright. Do you remember when I said before that I'd found a neat place? The place with the wind chimes? I remember that place with all the wind chimes, right? Right, it's a beautiful spot. It's filled with wind chimes of all shapes and sizes. So it also sounds amazing. I love listening to wind chimes. I really love listening to wind chimes. Those clear, melodious tones. So JB, I love it. You call it the vanilla OLED. Mine is 100. Okay. Monster Hunter Sunbreak takes up like 30 gigs. Oh, see, I don't play Monster Hunter. Hello, Nadina. I hope you're doing better after what you told me the other day. The first time I went there, I thought you'd like it. They say you can make a wish. That reminds me, they say when you make a wish under wind chimes, it'll come true. Did you know that? Right, that's what the manager there told me. We can try it out together. Hi, Luna. I'll leave you the live house's keys and get them back in a few days. Where are you going? Why, where are you going, Shaw? It's a long trip. Can't tell you where I'm going yet. What upset you? What did I do to upset you this time? You ponder it yourself. Whoops. What'll make you get over it? Very simple. Just let me retaliate. Text me every day when I'm away. Then I might consider getting over it. Like I said, this is just because of the welcome back. We also have a new family member. Aww. A little boxer puppy. How fun. Gosh dang, those fireworks are so loud. If you guys can't hear them, then my mic is really good. Alright. Let's go into the game now. We're gonna grab these daily quests. We're gonna grab the mementos from everybody. Oh wait, that was already one. For the text they gave me. Hega out of 10, how would you rate Comic-Con? Comic-Con? I don't know. I've never been to Comic-Con. I've been to Missouri. Are you talking about Missouri Comic-Con? I rated a 10. I think that the guy doing the introduction of Steve should have been more aware of what he was doing instead of letting a random fan on stage with Steve. But other than that, I loved it. Okay. Yo, Septile 7-star rating about nice. Aw, she's still a sister. Aw, that's sweet. That's true too, though. Did I already get Lucian? Yeah. I got distracted by a question, so I couldn't remember if I got it already or not. Claim, claim, claim. Claim. Okay. And then Fragrant Sunshine. Claim all. I need that SR. Wish Tree. Ooh, I got 4 coupons for later. Buy one. Gavin, warming up. Okay. So now, after all that, after I got all my dailies, let's go into the actual story. So last week, we met Shaw, or 2 weeks ago, we met Shaw. Someone died in the middle of the town square. Things are getting really weird in Loveland City. Is that the chapter I'm on? I don't think that's the chapter I'm on. Yeah, I'm on this chapter. Chapter 17. Alright, here we go. Let's see if me, working on getting my cards levels up has worked. She's already made all the dog noises, all the doggy noises, howling, barking, snorts, etc. That is so cool. Let's switch this around here. This can be in the middle, this can be here so that I'm looking at chat and at you guys. Oh, I need to put it on live. Timon Kitty seems to tolerate her better than he did Zeus. Well, that's good. Mr. Kirby returned to Dreamland for some reason, takes up 0.0 gigs. That's weird. Alright. This is a program tailored for children's age 4 to 16 to tell them that scraps are just undiscovered treasures. Oh, I know that. I know he was. But he'll get there. He'll get there. You need a craftsman to host this program. How about Horsehead Guy? Why not? Horsem. That's his name. His name is Horsem. Need someone to borrow the right venue before the start of each episode. Obviously, we don't have anybody able to do that. Alright, here we go. Bump, bump, bump. I'm trying to get my Kiro cards up because everybody likes Kiro now instead of Victor. And I didn't know till a month after I saw it. Oh, you didn't? Okay, out of the box. There used to be a children's program on Disney called Out of the Box. I remember that. Out of the box. Out of the box. Okay, wait, what's this? News. Ah, here we go. This is telling us about last week. Anchor's sudden death with bloody tears. Destiny or devil's curse? To look at the Screen Actors Guild to see if you can find VA gigs. He said that was one place to check and see if you can get an agent. Screen Actors Guild. Okay. I think, I'm not sure if I'm able to join in on that without an agent, but I might be wrong. I'll look into it for sure. Because that, I know what that is. That's SAG, and then I also know there's AFTRA. FYI, saying all of a sudden is grossly incorrect and like fingernails on a chalkboard. Devil may cry, yep. I will definitely, because I didn't even know I could apply for that. I didn't know I could apply for the union yet. Like, I didn't know I could apply for that. I thought you had to be a little bit well-known to apply for an acting union like that. Extreme joy gives rise to sorrow. An anchor had a sudden death. According to the witness, the dead anchor looked like a terrible abomination from hell, with a green face and bloody tears streaming out from eye sockets. The legal examiner has excluded the cause of any heart attack or brain disease and is still waiting for the test report. Some netizens say it's a devil's curse. This description is really scary. Is doomsday really coming? The unscrupulous media should not exaggerate the facts and shake people's will. I dare you to show the picture. 2012 is not over yet. This leads to nowhere. Advice from someone at the scene: better not to look at some of the pictures. Okay, I was confused what it was saying. All right. Oh. Did I get a new karma? Oh. Oh, these are new karmas I got yesterday. Okay. He said to just ask if they can recommend someone to help get you what you need. Might not be able to apply, but they can point you in the right direction. Awesome. You just have to be credited in a project. In one project on IMDb? I'm credited in 2. So, hey, maybe. I'm definitely going to look into it. One of them's coming out July 7th on YouTube. I have the trailer. I was gonna post it. In the Pegasusangel VA playlist. I don't announce anymore whenever I do voice acting roles or something is released with the voice acting role. So if you ever want to see what voice acting roles I've been in, you have to go to the Pegasusangel VA playlist right now. Should I play Elden Ring first or DMC5? I don't know. I would say Elden Ring because I've heard really good things about it just from being here. Free SSR. Of course I'm gonna do this to get freaking Lucian. What the frick, man? Daily stamina. Okay, I've already claimed all. That should be claimable already. Already claimed it, apparently. Alright. Recommend. Okay. Oh, yeah, I remember a free SSR. Where you don't always have to be officially in yet. They have sources for those that aren't yet, too. That's good. I'll look into it, because I would love to get into it. I want this card. But I don't have any moves. Like, I'm supposed to get a move every day. But I don't have any moves. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do to get that card. Anyway, continuing on. Elden Ring is a massive game. I recommend knocking out Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't think about that. After returning home safe and sound, my heart finally settled back down. Gavin told me that the situation was even more terrifying than I imagined. Things had expanded out of control in an extremely short time.
Outbreaks are always more terrifying after a brief lull.
My mind jumped to those unexpected letters. Why were they so accurate about the unfolding of events? After reading the letter, Gavin's face clouded over even more without a hint of sunshine. You guys able to hear the voice acting okay? When it happens? Yeah, it will help a lot. It'll help a lot. If you do that, robotics, good on you, man. What is it?
The person who wrote this knows a lot about you.
I nodded, but what Gavin said next sent my heart pounding once again.
Not just how you act, but how you think. These letters seem designed to break you down emotionally.
Hello, Raiden!
There's another, bigger objective.
No, he wasn't stalking. He saved me from the chaos that was happening in the square. But I'm not going to say he doesn't stalk. Every single one of these boys stalks you. How have you been, Raiden? Gavin looked up and locked eyes with me. Let me know if you can hear the voice acting or if I need to turn it up some more. Or if it's louder than my voice or if it's softer than my voice. Just let me know and I'll try to get it about the same amount.
To lure and summon.
Ooh. So far, Mom and I are leaning towards Xena, Joy, or Hope. Aww. I like all three. I like all three. A cold sweat ran down my back. I had never felt such terror like I did at that moment.
Stay in your home. Don't go out. I'll make sure it's safe here.
Everybody in this game is sus with a capital S. I nodded emphatically. Okay, and you too. You better keep yourself safe. Okay, awesome. Before leaving, Gavin deployed 2 agents to protect me, while also firmly forbidding me from getting involved in this matter again. You're sick? I'm sorry you're sick. Lying in bed in the silent darkness, I thought again of Gavin's hunch about those letters. To lure and summon? To lure me into going to those places? To summon me to witness my failures and uselessness? What was the point of it? As I dozed, I sensed a white glow arising around me, lifting me up so I was floating in midair. The OG, giver of snuggles and love drool. Was this another dream? Everything spun and I fell into a spacious black room. It was completely empty inside. In the distance, there was a point of light. I went in that direction. The source of the light was a mirror, the same height as me. It was inlaid in a black wall and seemed perfectly ordinary. Too much drinking ice and water. Oh! I reached out and placed a hand on its surface, and the black light rippled like water. Then my image appeared in the empty mirror. I smiled at myself in the mirror, and she gave me the same smile too. We finally meet. The me in the mirror slowly opened her mouth and gently spoke. She hasn't so far. That's good. What? I looked curiously at my mirror self that was a deeper black than anything in all this darkness. A pure black dress, brown hair, and tender eyes without a shred of animosity. Is this me? Why do you want to meet me? Life's been tiring lately. Precognitions that you can't change, unexpected betrayals, people lost. How do you know about those? Because I'm you. I know all your thoughts. I feel everything that you do. She follows around. Aww. That's sweet. But there's no getting all that back now. You know something, don't you? Tell me, now! Humanity must also meet its end. All that you cherish and love will disappear. She said the most frightful things with that soft and gentle tone, like a feather fluttering down upon my heart and setting off ripples. I don't know if it's Snake or who it is. I guess we'll find out. What are you saying? If I was you, then all of this could still be saved. Saved how? Well, by self-sacrifice. I took a step back. That's too absurd. Why wouldn't this strange dream come to an end? The person in the mirror reached out through it, and her glowing white left hand grabbed hold of me. Oh my gosh. Don't touch me. Even got, aw, that's so sweet. She really likes you guys. That's awesome. You think things will always work out. That the future will be as beautiful as you picture it. All right, see you later, Orville. Hello, Tyler Music. I don't want to hear this. Calamity has begun to take shape. Civilization must meet its end. My coworker got a boxer like my suggestion, Daisy, Destroyer of Sadness, and the week after she pooped in his bed while he slept. No! Sacrifice doesn't have to mean death, but new life. No, I don't understand. Aww. I struggled against her feebly, but it was no use. In this world, It takes all the running you can do to keep in the same place. And the Queen's gene is the last piece in the evolution puzzle. The Queen? You are the Queen, and you are also me. The Queen's destiny and duty has long been laid before you. I stared blankly at that face, leaning toward me, identical, but with something cruel in her eyes. Perhaps you think that all the unseen darkness is being held back by others outside the light? Humanity does not have much time left. Will you sacrifice yourself or sacrifice them? With that, the image in the mirror dissolved into a white light and scattered into the darkness. I opened my eyes and found myself somehow on a big street. You had to stop at Petco. Aww. She missed breakfast? Poor doggy. Okay, so Mirror Me does not seem very nice. Let's try to keep the role playing in the chat to a medium, like to a minimum, please. There was no one around, just me, standing all alone in the city, as if in a barren wasteland. When the virus completely broke out, half of the city's population fell into comas. The other half lived on in a hopeless dread. When the first of the fatal cases became public, the long-lurking virus finally showed its fangs. She already knows sit and come. Aww. As the comas wore on, the life force of the infected gradually weakened. That's awesome that she's learned those already. None of them woke up. The only thing waiting for them was death. A heaviness shrouded these ordinary, utterly defenseless people. There was nothing people could do but lament the coming doom and await judgment to befall them. That was a loud firework. If Victor told me the future was fine, if the virus disappeared and the people didn't face extinction, but went on to a beautiful tomorrow instead, then what was the key to their salvation? Yeah, I'm tired of the RP, especially with this game. This game is more serious. Like, this game is probably, if you're a kid, you probably shouldn't be here. Because this game has a lot of really, really gruesome stuff in it. It's actually PG-17. Not PG-17. Teen 17 and up. I might end up... Athena! That's a great name. Yeah, that's my neighbors. I thought maybe my microphone wouldn't pick them up because it's focused on just my voice and not the stuff around it. But every once in a while, it picks some stuff up. Was it really like my dream said? Was it me? I seemed to see myself in a high-walled maze with countless forks in the road ahead, heading to the exit, to the unknown, or to dead ends. Let's not even talk about memes. Like, if you want to talk about memes, do it in the Discord. I wanted to find the way out, but no one could truly help me. I took out my phone, scrolling through name after name, but none of the ones I dialed answered. Suddenly, I remembered there was still one place that might be able to tell me a final decision. I ran off in that direction. The sundial watch in my pocket had stopped at a certain time. Victor looked at as the time on the sundial watch in his hand started spinning rapidly, finally stopping at a certain time. 1917.
Can it not be changed after all?
Oh no! What? Despite his strong resistance, he still got drawn into the rift against his will. He closed his eyes. At the end of the long corridor of time, there was a familiar scent. Crack! A hole split open in the center of the watch and the needle broke. I ordered some dice molds. Aw, that'd be so cool. Yeah, make your own dice for like D&D and stuff. Yeah, do that. We'll go into the main story mission in a minute. What's going on here? Moments. I seem to catch a fever. Am I infected as well? Am I going to die? Oh gosh. Poor Miner. That's not what I thought. I thought it was my daily quest. Okay. Alright, I guess we're on chapter 18. Time's End. I like my dice like I like my burritos. Loaded. Ooh, you have the Stardew Valley cookbook? Nice. The endless wind swallowed me. The darkest abyss clutched at me. I was asleep, floating at the end of the world, without destination, without direction. Who illumined the only source of light? Moved the second hand? Wherever you are, I'll come to find you. Confined in the giant cell for too long, I opened my eyes. I opened my eyes, tears streaming down. Pitch darkness gave me my only sense of safety. My body was numb from being curled in a ball all night, and I couldn't stretch my limbs. I just sat in a strange posture on the ground until feeling returned. Yeah, if you're not a fan of anime, you probably don't want to be at the stream because this whole stream is full of anime boys. My mind was a muddled mess, constantly replaying what me from the dream had said. Calamity has begun to take shape. Civilization must meet its end. Sacrifice doesn't have to mean death, but new life. Will you sacrifice yourself or sacrifice them? She wasn't a dream or a hallucination. I was absolutely certain she was real, but I couldn't explain why I felt that way. And it's an official cookbook that Concernadepe worked on. Oh, nice. Yeah, guys, if you keep RPing, we're going to end up having you blocked for the rest of the stream. Because I already told you once. My mods have told you. Stop doing the snake thing. Stop saying, oh, I don't like anime, blah, blah, blah. If you're bored, why are you here? Go to a different stream. I'm fine with that. Like, honestly. Like I said, this is probably more of an adult-oriented game, so if you're a child that likes, like, Cuphead or something, you're not going to really understand this game. If you're 17 or older and you really like sci-fi and horror and at the same time dating simulators, then you might like this game. So decide if you like it or not. No, I think we're good. There's not very many people here. Not very many people come to the Mr. Love Queen Choices streams. Fragments from the past surged in my mind, reeling and combining into a familiar face. Pegasusangel YT. Pegasusangel YT. Will the real Pegasusangel YT please stand up? In the moment between drops of summer rain, I heard a familiar sound amidst a piercing whistle. In an empty alley, in a flash of a knife glinting in the sunset, I saw a blur of a face go by. The Doki Doki devs then. Yeah, no worries, I gotcha. I have two really good people in chat right now. I've got you and Cool Breeze that if I need help, I can ask for it. Yeah, but you also like the sci-fi horror game stuff, and you like to tease me about the guys I'm in love with. As I wandered countless streets, I saw me from childhood running by, clear and vivid. It turned out, from the very start, she had always been by my side. Did these dreams come from her? When she spoke of my destiny and duty, was that true? I do like the sussy ones. Lucian is awesome. I don't know, and I don't want to know. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Unless you're a bored kid, then you can hit the dislike button. That's fine with me. I don't care either way. I'm playing Mr. Love Queen's Choice. I enjoy it. Whether I get 10 viewers or no viewers, I'll still play it. Damn it! No, he's not, Sussy! Then I dreamed this dream in the dream. Whoa, 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 okay. That sounded like a poem. And then I saw the period, and I'm like, what? Then I dreamed this dream. In the dream, I pushed her away and ran off toward the unknown. I didn't know where I was and couldn't make any sound. I saw a light source and heard the spinning of a second hand, but I couldn't sense my own existence. I know, Nadina, I appreciate it. And there was those familiar words of certainty. Every time I thought of them, a strange feeling of grief came over me. Could this be the future that the other talked about? An empty void? A future without life? Because I refused her and refused to accept my destiny and duty? I hugged my legs. I wanted to hide from the world for the rest of my life. I couldn't face it. I thought I was falling asleep, but in my daze, I saw Dad. He was smiling at me, just like before, when I go pour my heart out to him. Oh, that's Luna. Dad. To my surprise, I felt a pair of warm hands softly pat my head. This vast space wasn't so forbiddingly cold anymore. Yeah, it is a pretty different game because it starts out as like an innocent dating sim and then it gets into this really dark shit. It's crazy. Dad, can you tell me what to do? I feel like everything's on my shoulders, but now I know how weak I am. No, this is actually a mobile phone game. It's called Mr. Love Queen's Choice and it's available in the App Store. And it's actually free to play, but for like some of the really cool cards, you kind of have to pay money. You should be able to find it on Android or on iPhone. Why do I have to bear this fate? Something was crowding out my consciousness. I could feel a warmth throughout my body, like being held tight in Dad's arms. His smiling face appeared before me. It was that companion that stayed up through the night with me when I was sick as a child, and offering his most sincere blessings upon becoming an adult. Here, if you want in my lap, get in my lap, Luna. If not, you can just stand there. My darling, Daddy wishes eternal happiness for you. Don't regret anything. Do what you truly want to do in your heart. See you later, Tyler. I won't worry too much about you, and you'll always have my blessing. Ooh, I might look into that too. Yeah, I like different games. You don't have to try so hard at every little thing, but you should always stay loving and brave. Choose to have faith even after seeing the evil in this world. Daddy's proud of you. I was worn out from crying. I leaned on the wall and thought of the... Damn it. Sorry, I dropped my phone. I leaned on the wall and thought of the last time I'd seen Dad. He told me he had an important interview to do and didn't have time to celebrate my birthday. I was so disappointed at the time, but now I think I understand. Dad, if I can't be as brave as you, will you be disappointed in me? 5 stages of pink. Ooh, that sounds interesting. No, I'm sure your dad will respect any decision you make. Oh, Grandpa Chuck's here now. What? When did Grandpa Chuck get here? Incriminating Pega clip. What is this? Is this what I think it is? Is this me admitting that Lucian is sus? Or is this that Link is a stud thing? Oh, you started talking about... People were leaving horrible... Of course, people do that all the time. It's a Sussium one. Okay. A light suddenly appeared in the space. I turned away hurriedly and wiped my tears. Grandpa Chuck, what are you doing here? Grandpa Chuck squatted down with some difficulty next to me and handed me a handkerchief. Girl, I saw you enter this space long ago, and I'm worried about you. Is something the matter? No, I just miss Dad. Grandpa Chuck, what kind of person was my dad? That's pretty cool. A novel point and click. That's pretty cool. Your dad? He wasn't much of a father. Just look at all the different birthday presents he's stored away here these years. Dude, that was really, really, I just saw a spark fly by my window. And there's a bit of a strategy to it. Are you excited for the new Astrobot? I've heard about the new Astrobot, and I am, because Astrobot is such a cute little character. But still, he's a man I admire. It was him who made me think life was worth living, that tomorrow was worth looking forward to. Really something. I looked at Grandpa Chuck's face and broke into a smile. Dad, I'm proud of you. No matter what decision I make, please watch over me. I took a deep breath and blinked back my tears. Before leaving the space, I took a last look back. Before I make my decision, please lend your courage to me. Do we have anything that is... Nope, no news, no nothing. Everything is nuts. God, Luna, I swear, it's every time I'm doing a stream, you have to poop in your litter box. Stink up the whole entire house. Alright, it's a medical program mainly inviting authoritative doctors to popularize diseases. Okay. Angel is the next Google Assistant voice confirmed. Heck yes. An authoritative... You need an authoritative doctor to be the guest of this program. Wait, this girl, this Dingle Daisy is an authoritative doctor? Okay. Dingle Daisy's speech is so persuasive that people get aware of the importance of health. You need someone to help with the market research. Hertz conducts a thorough market investigation, making the program well received. How are you, Freddy? I don't know if my decision will lead me to a bright future or a dark abyss. Oh, wait, I've already read those before. It's still all Victor cards, I'm sorry. I mean, she covered it up. I heard her cover it up, but it still smells. That tells me I probably need to clean out her litter box. It's probably time for some new litter, more than likely. Because when the litter's working, you don't smell it this bad. So yeah, I have all these Victor cards because we started with Victor when I started playing this game again, and then decided to go into, and then I had like a poll on my YouTube channel, and everybody said they wanted keto. So now I'm trying to build up my keto cards, but we have Victor cards for a little bit longer until my keto cards can get picked up. I had to double wash my clothes because Timon decided my laundry didn't smell enough. Oh my gosh, I have that happen all the time. Luna always finds some piece of laundry to pee on. When I stepped out of the space, it was sunset. There was a constant chirp of cicadas, warm summer night breeze, and a flickering twilight left by the sun on the leaves. And also a blurry, familiar silhouette. Ba-dump. My heart fluttered and the handkerchief fell suddenly to the ground. That person stood in the doorway, not huffing and puffing or sporting an angry look. Just standing there mildly and quietly. Just like he'd never been away. Victor! I ran up excitedly and grabbed his hands, but they were pulled back from my hands immediately. What did I do? Victor looked off reflexively to the side as if he didn't want to see me this way. I will remember that in the future. So I probably still have tears on my face or something. I don't know. Why did Victor seem strange today? How did you come back? Why does your face look so white? It's so wonderful you're back. You know something? I've been really worried for you all this time. Victor cleared his throat and cut me off, then took my hand and started walking out.
Come with me somewhere.
Am I allowed to refuse? Where to? How did you come back so suddenly? What about that important matter?
When did you become so talkative?
Dude, Victor! Why are you being such a jerk face? Jerk face? He is rude. How are you, Mango Ninja? Haven't I always been talkative?
Really? Guess I've forgotten.
What is going on? This whole thing is crazy to me. Are you really okay? Victor ignored me and walked faster, not seeming to notice the steepness of the mountain path. An intense feeling of estrangement welled up in me, not from not having seen each other in a long time, or from being separated in time, but just that he seemed like a stranger. Oh, I must not have seen you say hi. An inexplicable doubt crept into my heart. Victor, did the time travel make you stupid? Oh no! Oh no! I asked the guy that was a jerk if the time travel made him stupid. I probably should have said it more like this. Victor, did the time travel make you stupid? He listened to me, and after some thought, he nodded. He actually agreed to it?
Perhaps I haven't yet recovered.
I immediately pulled my hand away, rubbing my reddened wrist. You're not Victor. Just who are you? Why are you trying to impersonate him?
What do you mean I'm not Victor? You're being too sensitive. Let's go.
His voice rose, sounding forceful and threatening, and he grabbed my wrist again. We were only a short distance from Grandpa Chuck's house, and I shouted with all my might. Let go! You can't be Victor! Grandpa Chuck! Help! As I shouted, his expression changed, and he dove at me. I closed my eyes, ready to push him off. Suddenly, I felt a warm body nearby. I stumbled back and felt two hands holding me by the wrist. I opened my eyes. Between me and the imposter, Victor was the towering figure. What? There's an imposter now? Someone that can match? What? In an instant, he had the other man's arm twisted, and taking a hand off me, he grabbed the other man by the neck.
Speak. Who are you?
That voice I'd been missing for so long. It really was him. Victor! He turned to look at me, a hint of tenderness flashed in his narrowed eyes. Space that sussy vodka. Hello, Jun! Welcome to the stream! Yeah, that was a cool picture. That was definitely a cool picture. With a loud banging sound, the ground began to split. Countless people seemed to suddenly surround us. Victor took my hand.
Stay close to me.
What's going on? Why is there an imposter that looked exactly like you? Why are there people suddenly in this forest that is always deserted and only has Grandpa Chuck's house in it? What is happening? The sky went black and all I could feel was a steady heartbeat through his hand. A few seconds later, the sky lightened and that imposter had vanished into thin air. All that was left was the rustling of trees in the mountains, like it was all a dream. Yay, I'm glad it didn't sink! Victor stared intently into the thick woods on his right. fists clenched tightly. I thought the meme was dead. My heart raced, and before I could turn around, Victor was holding me tightly from behind. I was blanketed by the sound of his heartbeat and his scent. Oh boy, here we go. We got the lovey-dovey scenes going on.
I'm back.
Those two little words made my eyes start to turn red. I suddenly didn't know what to do or where to put my two hands hanging by my side. He didn't speak, and neither did I. We just stayed like that, in silence. After several minutes, his muffled voice sounded in my ear.
Don't you recognize me?
As I shook my head unconsciously, Victor spun me around by the shoulders and gazed into my eyes. How could I not recognize him? My nose tingled. He was thinner, paler, but I still recognized him. I leaned closer to his chest and hesitantly reached out and hugged Victor. His jacket seemed wet with rain, and his collar was wrinkled. A scent of sunshine and sweat seemed to spell out a familiar name. Victor. And loud fireworks! Loud fireworks as soon as I hugged Victor, guys. Oh boy. That tells me all I need to know, guys. I think I should be dealing with Victor. I think Victor's the one I'm supposed to be in love with, because as soon as I hugged him, there were fireworks, man. Victor sounds silly. I like him. I like his voice actor. But not the side you think it is.
How did you know he wasn't me?
Keto is least sussy boy. Nope, Lucian is. Because when I called him stupid, he didn't call me an idiot back. I knew it couldn't be you. Victor seemed to chuckle, and his hand around my waist drew in tighter.
Right. Well done.
And how do you know I'm not an imposter?
Who would pretend to be a dummy?
It's a dating sim sci-fi horror film. Dating sim sci-fi horror novel. It's very interesting. We literally, last chapter, someone was making a speech in front of like everybody in this big town, and then they died in front of everybody with blood spilling out of their eyes. There's been people that have unalived themselves. It's called Mr. Love Queen's Choice. It's a free-to-play mobile game. But like the first like 15 chapters, it doesn't really get into the sci-fi stuff much. Now where we're at, we're into like the really big sci-fi stuff. Already with the name calling.
When I call you a dummy, it's not name calling.
Okay, I gotta agree with that. Then what is this?
It's confirmation.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm only doing this every other Friday right now. Right now, Monday I play Hades. Tuesday I play Cuphead. Fridays I play Splatoon 3, and Saturdays I kind of play whatever I feel like playing. So yeah. And then Wednesdays, every once in a while, I'll stream on Wednesdays too, but I usually let people pick what I'm streaming on Wednesdays. So yeah, I'd love to see you come back by. The soups from the boys, except they're all sussy hot anime guys, and their soup is status a secret. Yeah. He spoke suddenly he spoke softly, and suddenly before me was the scene of him walking alone in a strange city, a look of confusion and concern on his face. Is this the future that he went to? I wanted to see if I was in this future, but I couldn't tell, and finally Victor pulled me away.
What is it?
I didn't know what to say. Should I tell him about the choice I was facing, or ask him how he appeared so suddenly? White vinegar, yes. White vinegar is a good one, for sure. Last time we were here, we'd come clean with each other. But this time, things had changed. I didn't feel optimistic, and decided to find an excuse to dodge the question. When Pega hits 3K subs, she gets to enjoy Fortnite. I'm scared. I don't want to play Fortnite. Victor suddenly spread out his palm.
If you want to see the future, just say so. You can see the future, can't you? Put your hand here.
Aw, thank you. That's really sweet. Do I pronounce your name June or Jun? Or how do you pronounce your name? I want us to pronounce it right. But that's really sweet, thank you. So he knows we can see the future. He knows that we saw something. One of us, one of us. Ah! My voice is cracking! Oh my goodness. I nodded and placed my hand solemnly on his, then closed my eyes. In my mind, there were row upon row of large buildings. Loveland City didn't seem to have changed much, but it had definitely changed. LFG was still standing tall in the city center. Our office building was now a shopping mall. Central Park had some more wetlands and fountains. Pronounced like June, but it's only an online name I use sometimes. Oh, okay, no worries. I seemed to see Anna in a crowd of people that flashed by. This is 10 years from now?
Yes. Everything's normal in the future.
So this virus incident got resolved? How?
Like I said, it's 10 years from now. I didn't see anything related to a virus incident. Which means it must have been resolved long ago with no long-lasting effects.
Then how come I can't see myself in the future? Didn't you say I'm doing even better than now? A flash of doubt flickered in Victor's eyes, but they quickly returned to normal. That doesn't sound like a good thing, guys. Am I dead?
Yes, great. If I wanted to see her, I had to make an appointment 3 days in advance.
Oh! Just joined recently, don't know how to feel about them, actually. It's alright, June, you're good. You're getting sleepy, but laundry's in the dryer? Aw, thank you, June. That's really sweet. I sleep with laundry in the dryer. I know you're not supposed to, but I do. So basically, he had to make an appointment 3 days in advance to see me. But he didn't refer to it as me. He didn't refer to it as me. He referred to it as her. So I'm confused. I'm that powerful? So how did you find me?
I realized that this powerful, successful person still loved to eat at Souvenir.
Ah! Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. This sci-fi stuff is so crazy, yet could be true. As he said this, his mouth perked up in a smile, and his slender eyes rippled with light. Just like that?
If you're curious, I can tell you about how she tried to steal pasta bolognese from Mr. Mills.
What? Whoever this girl in the future is, man, what is with her? Why would you steal? My character would never steal, I don't think. That's okay. That's okay. His words were making me feel bashful. I turned my blushing face away. From what Victor described, and I saw, the future seemed to be running as normal. I was myself, he was himself, and the world was the same as always. I didn't doubt him, but I totally didn't imagine this virus incident would end up like that. Yep, it does. That immediately made me think of Lucian's research. He said he was going to develop a reagent, yeah, to resist the virus. Perhaps that's the turning point. Oh, you have to leave the garage door open. I gotcha. I gotcha. Maybe I don't need to sacrifice myself, and the world will still be saved. I had a feeling of narrow escape, like suddenly being thrown a lifesaver while adrift in the ocean. It's reagent? I thought it was reagent. I didn't notice that a rare look of loneliness and grief slipped out on Victor's downcast face. But he quickly shrugged off that expression, and he knocked on my head.
Where's your mind wandering off to now?
Nowhere. My mind's not wandering. I shook my head and stuffed down my feelings of unease. I wouldn't just submit to destiny so willingly. If there was even a little chance of turning this around, I would give it my all. I always have before, so why not this time too?
Answer me this. Why are you here?
It's a portmanteau, toy of reaction, and I don't even know how to pronounce portmanteau. A toy. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's okay. After a long pause, I still decided not to tell Victor about the choice facing me. He'd think I was losing my marbles. Portmanteau. Because when I see the AU, I try to say it like you would in French, what would be toy. Toy. But I guess it would be EAUX. Yes, I love anime. I love anime. I'm very big into Black Butler. Hello, Doodlebop. I also have taught myself a lot of Japanese. Yeah, I get that, Nadina. I get that. And if things really were coming to this, I didn't want to get him wrapped up in it. I came here to ask Grandpa Chuck something about my dad. I tried to speak confidently. Victor looked at me frowningly for a while, seemingly believing me. And how did you come back so suddenly? How did you show up here too? Victor was dazed for a moment. He tightened his right hand inside his pants pocket and then smiled.
I don't know either. Basically, some dummy all of a sudden called my name.
We're pretty far away from the Fortnite goalpost. His smiling face melted into the light of the setting sun. In that moment, a vast universe appeared before me. As he was traversing time and space all alone, he heard my voice and he appeared. He really had appeared. I warmly took his hand in mine. Victor, welcome back. And also, thank you. Thank you for saving me, and thank you for telling me this world still has a chance. Thank you for returning to me right before I almost made that decision.
Next time, don't yell for me so loudly. It's embarrassing.
You were in... what? You were in a, like, time-space continuum. Who would have heard it? Just you. Then how would you hear me?
I can hear everything.
Can you hear the fireworks right now, Victor? No, I didn't think so.
All right. I've got something to do now. You just stay here and don't stray from my sight.
If you have something to do... and how am I going to be in your sight? Are you leaving? What? Yes. Why did I just go ahead and agree with that? Victor thought for a moment and went into Grandpa Chuck's house. As he did, a serious expression had returned to his face. The girl's not coming in too.
With some things, the less she knows, the better.
Grandpa Chuck walked over and opened the window, letting in the setting sun's rays. A lot of time has passed. Last time it was noon. That girl, she can see brief snatches of the future, and she really trusts what she sees.
She just needs to trust me. Nothing else is important.
Grandpa Chuck sighed and walked over to Victor. Victor took out the sundial watch from his pocket, long ago soaked in sweat, and placed it in Grandpa Chuck's hand. Grandpa Chuck delicately picked up the watch, now as lacerated as a spider's web, and then shook his head helplessly. Yeah, you don't want to do that until your laundry's done. Especially if they're going to put you to sleep. Sorry, I can't help you. Hearing that, the light in Victor's eyes dimmed, and his fingernail bit deeply into his palm. Then he took back the watch and gave Grandpa Chuck a nod.
No need to apologize. I appreciate all that you've done.
The most constant thing in this world is time, but it's also the cruelest. This old man's been down too many roads. Now all I can do is sit by and watch. He shuffled slowly inside like a rusty old clock. Victor was left alone in the room. In the lush summer evening, a cold wind blew, hitting his face, cutting his gaunt cheeks. Victor just stood there, looking at the girl for a long, long while. Unlock main story, stage 18-5. Which is basically just another one of those that I produce something. Oh boy. Okay. Ever heard of the theory of time travel? Time is constant. Boom! Yep. You need a pharmacist as a chemical consultant to guide the prop setting. I swear, Dingle Daisy has got to be the most... Her and Spine both. Well, that's Freeman, but her and Spine are the most versatile in this whole entire game. You need a highly skilled actor to play the villain. Oh, I get to use this bratty kid. After many hardships. I'll have to take them soon, though, as one is a heart oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to take the heart medicine. Still Victor. Still the same 3 pictures. But I'm getting Kiro close to it. Is that 2-star or 1-star? Ooh. Yikes. I thought that I'd upped my cards enough. On the way home, sitting in Victor's car, I looked out at the desolate city, my heart like lead. Yep, I'm getting him ready to... I'm working on getting the card ready to go. There weren't even any stray cats or dogs, only sounds of construction of the quarantine zone. Along the way, I recounted the whole month's events to Victor. Seemed he really didn't know much about what had been happening. In 2 short weeks, the virus had broken out everywhere. There was widespread infection worldwide, and the death toll spiked. People were even going missing on a large scale. The medical world had no answers. This virus was the greatest threat to humanity since World War II. Everything was spiraling out of control. Was the lifeline I hoped for really going to pan out? I leaned on the window, watching the scenery go by, my mind a big, murky mess. The car quickly reached our destination. The gate of my apartment complex was cordoned off, and all around there were workers in hazmat suits, as residents filed out of a side door. What's this?
Stay in the car.
Victor pulled the handbrake, opened the car door, and walked toward those people. I watched on anxiously, my heart beating like a drum. All I could do was pray, please, please don't let anything happen. After a long while, Victor returned. What happened? Victor gave me a look, but didn't answer. He just stepped on the gas and sped off.
There's been an infection in the complex. All the residents are being quarantined.
Wow. He said that actually really calmly, but you can tell he's a little bit anxious too. So that voice actor did a great job. Great job, Ben Diskin. You got to take it because you can feel your heart scream. Chew, where's my... Oh, yeah, you definitely want to take that first thing. I'm doing good, Doodle Bop. I'm doing good. But he said it really, like, you could tell he was a little bit anxious, but he tried to say it as calmly as he could so I wouldn't get anxious. My heart froze. Would I have to be put under quarantine too? Victor looked at me and slowed the car.
You're coming back with me. You'll stay at my house for now.
Shh, why is he talking so fast? He's anxious. Something's not right. I stared at him in shock. Suddenly, I'd gone from living under quarantine to staying at his house.
Unless you want to live in the quarantine zone. I can take you back right now.
No, not at all. Thank you. Ie keiko desu. Arigatou gozaimasu. I didn't ask Victor why, but I'm sure he had a reason for taking me with him. Your new Prove Wheel of Fortune Tiger toy. Nice. Reverse harems? I guess well, they're not really. Are you thinking this is a dating simulator for girls? Yes. They're called otomes. But yeah, I'm not sure. Cause it's not really like Oron High School Host Club. Because there's only 5 guys that like you. And I don't think it actually has like any, I think you get to choose in the end who you date, but I don't know because they're still coming out with more episodes. It's kind of like, Obey Me. Hello, Aaron W. Gaming. Yeah, you better get it. Yeah, Blush Blush is more of a harem game, yeah. Yeah, I do like Oran High School Host Club. I'm glad you got to come by. But no, they're still releasing new episodes of this game on the cell phone. Unfortunately, they don't have any voice actors anymore to voice act the characters. So it won't be as good anymore once the voice acting stops, but we have a long way to go before that happens. In the rearview mirror, I saw those people under quarantine. The security guard that greeted me every day. The old lady who always gave me fresh fruit. Their faces hung with unwilling despair. Even from so far away, it was clear to see. They'd been forced from their normal lives and were in for a lot of upheaval. But I could do nothing except to watch them as they receded further and further from me. And there would be more and more people like them in the days to come. I leaned on the seat, my back to Victor, gripping the seatbelt, finding nowhere to focus my gaze. A constant pain and feeling of powerlessness weighed on my heart, like a giant boulder making it impossible to breathe. In the cramped space, the only sound was music coming in fits and burst over the radio. It was an old song, something I think Dad sang to me in a dream. Sorry, gotta open up my other water. There's a lot of talking, so I have to drink a lot of water, especially since I do voice acting. As a hobby as well. He's saying, don't be afraid. Yes, I'm wearing a unicorn horn with little flowers around it. Yep, I get that. At least Timon knows. At least Timon knows. He's saying, don't be afraid. Don't carry the world upon your shoulders. If only everything could be like it was in the song. A mist gradually formed in my eyes, and the road stretching out before me seemed to go on forever. The quarantine zone receded behind us, but up ahead, was it really a sanctuary? The night grew deeper and quieter. In a few hours, it'd be a new day, and I'd still be out to sea. Yes! I've got 2 that I really like. I do like Tamaki. I do like Tamaki. And I've read the manga, so I know what ends up happening, so I'm not going to spoil anything. But I really, really like Kiyoya as well. And, you know, also, even though I'm not a big fan of the childish boys, I do like Honey because Honey Senpai reminds me a lot of myself. But Kiyoya's got to be probably my favorite. Tamaki, my second favorite. The car drove on for a long time. After passing countless lights... What does mean? Oh, we're talking about an anime called Ouran High School Host Club. It was a manga before it was an anime, and it had 18 volumes released. And basically, it's one that this girl gets stuck working in a host club. It's pretty good. It's pretty fun. I've currently been working on reading Skip Beat, and I have finished all the way up to book volume 48. Volume 49 just got released here in the United States not that long ago, and so I still have to wait for volume 50, and they're still releasing chapters that I won't get probably for like a year. And I'm like so mad because it's getting so good because I finally got what I wanted to happen in the manga, and now I have to wait until I can get the 49th book to see how it works or see what happens from it. 1 second, 2, 3, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I leaned on the seat, not moving, and Victor didn't move either. I also have read Kadacha, which is a really good one, and Fruits Basket. I finally snapped to attention and turned my head. There he was, hand over the steering wheel, just staring toward, the starlight twinkling in his jet black eyes. Was he waiting for me? Why was he just blithely sitting there, waiting with me in silence? All right, no worries, Nadina. See you later, and make sure you take care of yourself. Thank you for dropping by. I will not be live tomorrow, but there will be a premiere of me singing Respectless from Has-Been Hotel that I will be in the chat for at 11. So look forward to that. Sensing that I'd stirred, he turned his head and looked at me silently.
We're here. Get out.
It's like, okay, we're here. Let's go. Victor went ahead and shut off the lights. Then he walked around to my side and opened the door. I just want to sit a while. I don't feel good. Pegasusangel YT.
Tomorrow will be better. The rain always stops eventually. Is that what you want to hear?
No.
Good. You're not completely stupid then.
I looked at him and his calm gaze under the moonlight that seemed to have been through so much.
Some things don't have to be said. I understand.
1,000 emotions flashed in Victor's downcast eyes in that moment. Then he threw the car keys into my hands.
The only person who can decide who you are is yourself. If you want to keep sitting here, I'm fine with that.
With that, he turned and walked ahead without another look at me. So does, like, he know that the queen has been reaching out to me? Or that black... I'm assuming that she's the... Because they said, you're the queen, but you're also me. So... Has he already figured out that she's been reaching out to me? Because he literally just said that you have to... There's some things you have to discover yourself. A cool wind blew by where Victor was standing, hitting my face and waking me up quite a bit. I'm sorry. I have to save that. That's a good thing to think of. The only person who can figure out who you are is yourself. That's a good quote. I took a deep breath, cast aside all the my wild doubts, and ran out of the car to catch up with Victor. I'm not sure. Whoever the person was in the mirror, basically she said, "You're the queen, I am you. You'll have to sacrifice to make a good future. You can't change the future." She was saying all that stuff. And Victor just came back from 10 years ago, and he wouldn't answer my he kind of answered my question in a roundabout way about my like how I was doing in the future. But looking sad, like maybe I was dead in the future. It's really weird. I'm not sure. It's getting really weird. I'm interested to see where it goes from here. Oh, we got some more news. Moments. My neighborhood almost got quarantined this time. I may not be this lucky next time. Okay, so no news yet. Just the moments. Talking about the quarantine. Yeah, more Kingdom Hearts. Oh, that's a fancy house. As I entered the house with Victor, I saw that Mr. Mills was also there. He took my bag with a smile and told me some clean clothes had already been prepared for me. The boss made me come stay here. My home has been quarantined off too. Mr. Mills spoke gently, but I could see a hint of sorrow deep in his eyes. Oh, Mr. Mills. Miss Pegasusangel YT, don't feel bad. This will all pass. What would you like to eat? I'll make it for you. He lovingly patted my shoulder, and I nodded emphatically and mustered a smile. I'd like to make it with you. Yep, see you later, Nadina. Well...
Letter.
He's gonna let me! Thank you, Victor! With Victor's permission, I went off to the kitchen with Mr. Mills, because I have to have Victor's permission to cook, apparently.
Don't blow up the kitchen.
Oh, come on, Victor! I'm not that bad of a cook! I just use a microwave. I wouldn't! I seemed to hear a chuckle and looked back to see Victor ascending the stairs, heading down laughing. The kitchen in Victor's home had a very lived-in feel, more so than I'd imagined, suffused with the smell of cooking. It had all the pots and pans you could need, and the fridge was stocked with all kinds of food. I took some mushrooms from Mr. Mills and started chopping diligently. The sound of vegetables chopping and oil sizzling filled the spacious kitchen. It slowly smoothed out the wrinkles of sorrow in my heart and gave me a reprieve from the world. I probably would blow up the kitchen, not gonna lie. Although I have a friend who's trying to get me to cook and he keeps sending me recipes that are really easy to make. And I'm afraid I'm gonna blow up my kitchen. Miss Pegasusangel YT, what made you want to help with the cooking? Actually, I just want to keep occupied when I have nothing to do. Oh, occupied. When I have nothing to do, my mind starts running wild. Feeling better now? Yes, I'm feeling much better now, thank you. Oh, yes, I'm feeling much better now, thank you. Well, that's good. The boss's efforts haven't gone to waste. Huh? This evening, I was all packed to go to the quarantine zone. I called the boss to let him know, and he told me to move in here. I know he doesn't say much, but he certainly always thinks of everything. Mr. Mills gave me a laugh and then walked off carrying a plate. As I looked around the messy yet cozy kitchen, a surge of appreciation warmed my heart. If it weren't for Victor, where would I be right at this moment? I leaned on the counter, thought a moment, and then carved letters into the chopped mushrooms. Looking at my handiwork, I couldn't help but laugh.
What are you giggling about all by yourself?
What letters did I carve into the mushrooms? A voice sounded abruptly behind me. I whirled around to see Victor looking at the cutting board. I hurriedly turned around and frantically tried to cover my crudely shaped letters. I think he already saw it. I think it's a little too late. How do you not make any noise when you walk? Victor gave a sidelong glance at my odd demeanor and frowned.
Why the guilty look?
I wasn't doing anything wrong. Who's guilty? I was doing creative cooking.
Oh? Then lift up your hands.
Oh, God. I shook my head and covered them more tightly. A doubting look flickered in Victor's eyes. He eyed me and then his gaze paused at my foot. He leisurely squatted down and picked up a slice of mushroom. Upon it, carved a big letter R.
Oh, quite creative. This is the first time I've seen a mushroom with a letter on it.
Oh, no. Oh, no, he got me, guys. My face went red as I snatched it from his hand. I'm not finished yet. Victor's gaze fell naturally on the cutting board because I snatched the mushroom from his hand. Oh, no. Oh, he's gonna read it out loud? This is like when you're a kid in school and the teacher finds you passing a note and reads the note out loud. Oh my gosh. One letter at a time, he read out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. This is gonna be so embarrassing. It's like I'm back in elementary school again.
VICTORTHANKU.
Girl! Why is my person so... Oh, that is like I'm not even the person, but that's so embarrassing.
This is what you wanted to say to me?
Yes. Thank you for letting me stay in your home. If not, I'd be in the quarantine zone now. I know, he picks up I accidentally dropped a mushroom by my foot, apparently. And he saw the R. And so he picked it up and I snatched it from him after he said, "Oh, mushrooms come with letters?"
Well, anyway,
Anyway, you took in stray cats and dogs all the time before, right? I know what you're gonna say. I looked at Victor and he didn't argue back. He just looked quietly and steadily at me. And thanks for letting Mr. Mills stay here. I know you're doing all you can to help others. Even if you never say it. Don't worry, I'll do my best to keep my mind from running wild. But I want to do my part too. I don't want to be like a turtle, always hiding in its shell. Victor said nothing and just looked at me with his piercingly cold jet black eyes. You won't disagree, will you? I don't want to be a turtle. I don't want to be protected from everything. I want to do my own thing. Got that, Victor? I'm standing up to you. I'm telling you, I'm doing my own thing.
do you remember what I said?
Huh?
When I return, you won't have to be so cautious and patient. You just need to be yourself.
Hi, Luna. Hi. Here, let's see if you'll let me do a Luna cam real fast. This is my kitty cat, Luna. Yeah. How are you, baby? You're purring. You're purring good. Are you in a good mood? Yeah. Oh, you're staying in my lap even after that. Nice. Okay. Queen Luna. All hail Queen Luna. She is here to bless us all. Yeah, but now she's making it hard for me to utilize my phone. Then a smile formed on his face, sure and direct, making you feel like he was telling the truth.
Leave everything to me.
Behind him, stars sparkled in the deep night sky. Oh, well, that's a coincidence, isn't it? The sparkling anime boy. If he said he would come back, for sure he would. Across tens of millions of years, spanning long ages, how lucky I was to reunite with him. I nodded emphatically as I held back imminent tears. Victor walked to the entrance, but suddenly stopped.
What made you think to compare yourself to cats and dogs?
Well, what else would I be?
An elephant.
Aw, come on, that's just rude. You're calling me an elephant in the room? You are a jerk. He said this word in a spry tone, matching his relaxed, cheerful demeanor.
More specifically, a Dumbo.
No! Stop it, Victor, you're so mean. You're killing me with your insults. But for some reason, I'm not mad. I'm just like, stop it. I was both angry and laughing at the same time, but my tears were completely gone. That Victor. He could always make me angry, but also always help me relax and give me courage and confidence. I lowered my head, looked at the mushrooms, and laughed. Which means since you're compared yourself to a turtle, that means you always have a home to come back to. Oh, that's true. Oh, we got something else coming up here. What happened? More news. Quarantine decreed for the escalating outbreak. A real Truman Show? The Center for Disease Control in Loveland City says the flu outbreak has escalated once again, and many hospitals are too full to take in more patients. The CDC proposes that urgent measures should be taken to quarantine communities for contagion control. Yeah, I guess I said that wrong. I know I did. At the quarantine site, citizens have conflicts with the police and say that the Truman Show has finally come true. This is obviously the real version of quarantine. There are also extras in the Truman Show. This would be literally a jail if the community was quarantined. Although this may sound mean, there is no other way to make the situation better. Try if you can. It is actually quite nice to just stay at home and enjoy Wi-Fi and snacks. Up. You headed out. You headed out, Cool Breeze. See you later. Alright. Let's see what happens next. Actually, I want to go to company real fast. Actually, not company. That's not what I want to go to. I need to go to studio. Okay. Claim that. And then I still don't have enough money to really do much of anything with. I don't have anything to claim there. I've got memento stuff to claim because I got a new chapter unlocked. Bored? I'll spice your life up. Chi Breeze. Yep, see you later. Or good luck, Breeze. See ya. Oh, gosh. I won't see you again till Monday. I won't be live again till Monday. I mean, I'll be in the chat of my premiere, but it's only going to be like a minute 40. So, you know, it's not going to be that long. But I think you guys will like it. I think you guys will like hearing me voice characters in Respectless. The song from Has Been Hotel. Okay, let's get back to keto. Alright. Moments? I'm up to my third draft of my thesis. Your resentment is radiating from my screen. Okay. See what he answered back. Not changing it. Handed it up. Back to the story. If I can make it through. After dinner, it was late. Worn out from the day, I fell asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. The whole house gradually fell asleep, aside from the cicadas and Victor standing by the window. It was the shortest night of the year. A blood-red dawn seemed just over the horizon. Victor went out into the night, His step was fast and definite, without an ounce of hesitation. He came to a halt before a house, hidden behind a thick cover of trees. It was a very unassuming building, and also the only place in the whole city with its light on. Just like the person's heart never stopping. Victor stood at the door and deftly pushed buttons on a keypad. Within a minute, the door opened. What?! Moose?! Victor's in cohorts with Lucian! I don't even know if you're still here or if you fell asleep. What? Oh no! What is this? What? As he looked up, he was looking into a pair of calm eyes. Lucian stood there, a distant look on his face, as if not at all surprised to see him. After a brief... Well, then Victor's sussy too! If you think Lucian's sus, then so is Victor now. After a brief silence, Victor strode inside, and the door closed softly behind him. The two men looked at each other without speaking, with only the sound of machinery in the air. Aw, thanks, June. That's sweet. Well, sometimes people need naps or they have to go take medicine that puts them to sleep, you know. A lot of times the people that do fall asleep on my stream will keep the stream running just because it does help with watch time.
In 1909, the survivors of the White House explosion disappeared and their existence was forgotten. The box you speak of. Just what is it?
Uh-oh. Hearing Victor's words, Lucian's brow gradually wrinkled into a frown. It happens, it's okay, and I totally understand. Moose has to sleep every once in a while.
Perhaps you should tell me where you learned of this matter.
I saw it with my own eyes.
Uh-oh. Lucian suddenly looked up, his subdued eyes firing at the man before him like a deadly arrow. But Victor's face remained unchanging, calm and sure. Seeming to suddenly get something, Lucian chuckled and walked over to Victor's side.
I understand. The box I spoke of perhaps has already been opened. When we were all completely unaware.
Uh-oh. The light overhead swayed a bit, and Victor's eyes drew back suddenly.
The reason?
I have only conjecture.
Lucian turned and looked at Victor's taut profile as if seeing the coming dawn in the distance.
In 1908, a comet hit the Earth, and a mini black hole appeared over the Atlantic. It's said that at the same time, Wardenclyffe Tower also made a wireless transmission. But this all just points to a single conclusion: an energy explosion. And then, this cat started to breed and multiply.
In that instant, a lightning bolt flashed in Victor's eyes.
Do you want to close the box?
I don't just want to.
Those survivors all disappeared.
But you're forgetting to add, a year later.
And what if, outside of this box, there is another box?
Whether or not this is true, there's one thing you got wrong from the start.
Pandora's
I will not
box?
be boxed in.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It could be Pandora's box, or it could be the Schrodinger's cat box. Because he did say something about the cat breeding. Victor turned and strode away without pause or hesitation, walking into the future of his making. He didn't even stop to hear these words uttered by Lucian and scattered to the wind.
Did you really see it all with your own eyes?
The only answer was the rustling of leaves and the faint sound of a violin. Uh-oh. What's the violin? Why the violin? Lucian did not notice the flash of a black figure in a concealed corner, leaving only a pure white petal where he was just standing. What's going on? On the quiet street, that regular mechanical music seemed to keep time with Victor's step. Victor turned his head, and the music stopped. On the broad street, there wasn't a single person. He tensed his jaw, and a blood-red dawn showed in a corner of his eye.
So, you've appeared.
Violin strings glistened, and fingers paused on the fretboard as a pair of stiff eyes turned. What is this? Is this turned into Fiddler on the Roof now? What is going on? I didn't think I'd see you this early. Victor didn't turn, and his face was obscured in the shadow of a tree.
Time observer. We finally meet.
Wait, he's a time observer? What? So, like, are there, like, different, like, hierarchies or whatever? Okay. Let's see if we can see what exactly is going on. Unyielding interviewer to interview passersby. Editor, dedicated, spine. Okay. Do I have enough? Am I gonna make it? Oh, I'm making it. I'm making it. I'm making it 2 stars. Woo, no, I made it 3 stars. Heck yes. After that other one, I was worried. Okay. It had been a long time since I'd woken up naturally like this. I opened my eyes to a sunlit room. I got out of bed and went into the living room. Mr. Mills already had breakfast prepared. Miss Pegasusangel YT, breakfast is ready. Come and eat. Sorry, I'm not good at male voices. Thank you, Mr. Mills. Seeing 2 places set at the table, I couldn't help but wonder, what about Victor? Is he not eating breakfast? The boss went out. He said he won't be back to eat. The clock on the wall showed 8:45. Where could he have gone this early? I didn't follow up and just absent-mindedly ate my breakfast. Miss Pegasusangel YT, I have to run some errands. Is there anything I can get for you? I thought a moment. I didn't need to work or go out or do anything. I seemed to need nothing. I shook my head and curled up on the sofa. I know I said I would do my part, but faced with saving the world, I didn't know where to start. Feeling a bit frustrated, all I could do was turn on the TV. The news was still constant updates about the virus situation, with their frontline reporters getting swapped out left and right. The new quarantine zones couldn't keep up with the streams of new infected relocated there daily. Humanity was on the brink of death, with no way to fight back. But time marched on without so much as a look back, not even a second's reprieve. I lay on the sofa and suddenly noticed a jacket of Victor's lying around. I was going to fold it up for him, but the instant my finger touched it, my mind went blank and a pain shot through my heart. No matter where you are, I'll always find you. This familiar line rang in my ears. I couldn't find the speaker, but I felt as if I'd been pushed on or the ground was shaking under me. I fell into a world of white. Far away was a familiar figure wearing a white shirt and with the stubborn, pained look on his face. It was Victor. A car abruptly thrust itself into view. Then I saw clearly the following scene, the ground covered with blood. My heart stopped for a full second. I leapt up from the sofa, pulled out my phone, but I couldn't get through to him. With that scene in my head, I rushed out the door without hesitation. There was no sign of Victor on the empty street. There were no passers-by to ask and no way to contact him. All I could do was run around blindly. Truck-coon? Yep. A mechanical violin sound hit my ears and my heart seized up without warning. Victor! Victor? A heart-rending pain spread in my chest. I stood panicked At an intersection, tears streaming down. This was the feeling, that piercing feeling in my dream just now. Victor, just where are you? Sweat mingled with tears. I paused and then ran on. I had to stop that vision from becoming a reality. Oh, hello, Nano! Welcome to the stream! Didn't expect you to be here for a dating sim. How are you? The edges of my world became a blur. Across the street, I saw a familiar figure. A white shirt, a rumbling public bus. It was like a slow-motion scene in a movie. Oh, I'm glad you came in to say hi, Nano. I appreciate it. Yeah, I wish I could see you this weekend. I really do. Yeah, well, I'll be there Sunday. You'll see me Sunday, possibly. Unless you're not gonna be there Sunday. Not gonna be at the house on Sunday. Not the old house, the house. But yeah, I'll be there Sunday. But also I understand, because I know how important it is that you hang out with your friends and stuff. But I'm glad you came in and said hi. It means a lot to me. Really, it does. I'm wearing my reading glasses because I'm reading a lot. A white shirt, a rumbling public bus. It was like a slow motion scene in a movie. A tear fell at that moment, silent and still. Victor! I shouted forcefully, but I was too far. He couldn't hear. My eyes were completely blurred over. Ignoring the steady stream of cars going by, I took a step. I slipped through the gaps, not daring to stop a second, my heart about to jump out my throat. I went along step by step and suddenly got a strange feeling. I felt like I had run like this before. It was raining, and that same man was standing before me, my heart even more in pain. The ground started to feel funny underneath me, and tears fell in large drops. Why was this all so familiar? An ear-splitting car horn rent the air, and my arm was yanked as I lost all sense of direction. The next second, I was being held tight in Victor's arms.
You just keep getting braver and braver.
I don't think Victor's very happy about me leaving the house. I really don't think that that's the voice of someone who's just excited and ecstatic that I left the house. I think I pissed him off. What do y'all think? I don't even know what time it is. It's 11. Victor's breath was uneven, anxious and severe. His body was also a little chill. He's scared. He's angry. The rushing car brushed past behind him, not a centimeter away.
What's gotten into you?
I held Victor tight, my whole body trembling. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Because in my vision, that blood-covered person on the ground was him. You're all right. Thank goodness. I lifted my head and mustered a smile through my sobs. I just had a dream you were in a car accident. I couldn't get you on the phone, so I came looking. Before I finished, I was taken tightly into his arms once again. Victor let out a long sigh and swallowed as if fighting back some emotion I didn't understand.
I should never have let you toss aside caution and prudence.
Huh?
Yet again, I see you in imminent danger right in front of me.
Uh-oh.
Do you have no faith in me?
Uh-oh. That's all I can say right now is, uh-oh, he's mad. It's not that. Lately, all my precognitions have come true. I was scared.
Let's make a bet.
Okay. Victor cut me off smoothly. I lifted my head and saw his eyes fixed on the intersection.
In 5 minutes, a mother and daughter will cross the street, holding a red umbrella and wearing a blue dress.
Okay, but this isn't fair. You traveled to the future. So of course you're gonna know this. He spoke with certainty, never loosening his tight grip around my waist.
Wanna bet?
You already traveled. It's not fair. It's not a fair bet. What are we betting?
If I win, from today on, you have to put your full trust in me.
What does that mean? Does that mean you're gonna keep me locked in the house all the time? And if you lose? Victor didn't speak. He just looked forward, a faint smile on his face, telling me he wouldn't. I began to calm down and started surveying the empty street too. Since the outbreak, there's been hardly anyone on the streets. Will someone really come along? The afternoon summer sun was scorching. Not daring to blink, I stared at the road. A pair of black sandals came into view. My heart tensed up and I squinted my eyes. Then I saw a skipping little girl wearing a blue dress, her mom behind her holding a red umbrella. They really showed up. I looked in shock at Victor, who still had a smile spread on his face. If he said he wouldn't lose, you could believe it.
Now do you believe me?
I was speechless. I felt moved and also incredulous.
You lost fair and square. From now on, forget all your precognitions. The only thing you can believe is me.
Why have I gotta forget my precognitions? Are they leading me to death? You know something, Victor. What is happening? Just tell me. As cicadas chirped, the mother and daughter walked by. The little girl even gave me a sweet smile. Looking at Victor's self-assured face in the sunlight, the sorrow in my heart slowly melted away. I nodded emphatically and gave Victor a big smile. A hint of relief flashed in his eyes, and then his face went neutral again.
You look worse smiling than crying.
Well, that's rude. That was because I was worried about you. I wiped my face and suddenly noticed that Victor's shirt was already wet with my tears. In his wrinkled shirt with his furrowed brow, he looked just like that snarling cat on his cup. Aw, that's awesome! How are you, Death and Nyler? I'm glad your turtles are liking the sardines. It's always good to give your pets a treat every once in a while. The sun was shining. He was fine. Why shouldn't I trust him?
What are we still standing here for? You want everyone to see your crying face?
I looked around us. There were no people anyway. Then I just hurried after him. Maybe it had been too long since I'd taken a walk outside, but I was feeling much better. A while passed and we still hadn't gotten back home. Things looked different than when I'd come to. Did I really run this far?
And what made you think it was okay to run out all by yourself?
Well, I think they're kind of water turtles, so they can eat sardines. I was worried for you.
Didn't Mr. Mills tell you I'd be coming back?
That's not the same.
What's different?
Once, when I was little, I played hide and seek with my dad. I waited so long, I was about to fall asleep, and he still hadn't found me. I thought he was so dumb. Later, I found out he thought he'd lost me. He was so worried he even called the police. But actually, I was just hiding in a little attic in our house. Without realizing it, Victor had slowed his pace and stepped with me. When someone's important to you, especially if you think they're in danger, you can't help it. I prattled on, and when I looked up, I realized Victor was looking down at me with his head tilted. I spaced out for a moment and missed a step in front of me. As I stumbled, Victor already had a tight hold on my hand.
Sometimes I really don't get how you can be so bold.
I get it from you.
Nonsense.
Really? You told me to be myself, and I just knew that I would find you.
Was this another of your precognitions?
Right. I think my dream said no matter where you are, I'll always find you. So I went out. The sound of footsteps ceased. Victor's deep eyes were right up close to me. Badump. My heart suddenly started racing. What is it? Victor swallowed and he looked at me a long time. Many emotions flashed through his eyes.
What else did you hear in your dream?
That was it, I think, if I remember right. I think nothing.
I knew I couldn't count on that head of yours.
You're Raiden's brother. Okay, well, it's kind of a pretty dark game, so you may not want to watch it if you're younger than 17. But hello, welcome.
Alright, let's go home.
Victor didn't say another word. He just slowed his pace and walked home with me. Oh, I gotta do this again. Need a makeup. I have no makeup artist? Oh crap, this is gonna be bad. Okay, I have one good card in this. Okay. Alright. These cards are gonna have to pull me to that 1 star. Can they do it? I think I got 2 stars on that one. Yep, I got 2 stars. In a town very far from Loveland City, a red-eyed boy stood on a debris-strewn street, an explosive energy emanating from his body in intense waves. Both fierce and dangerous, each wave of light shot out like a blade in every direction. All buildings, people, and trees around him fell instantly, kicking up clouds, dust. Behind him, a tear-stricken woman wanted to get close to him, but she had been cut down by the deadly blast. The deadly blast's waves, and lay in a puddle of blood. The boy turned his head, the red in his eyes growing more savage. He howled as his face contorted in pain, like the most mournful monster in the world. He covered his eyes, and countless heavy objects rose up under his control and smashed into him. The objects were pulverized, but the boy didn't have a scratch on him. A wail of despair echoed down the street. "Hello, Pookie!" Tears mixed with blood stained the boy's cheeks. A flurry of sirens sounded, and countless soldiers in camo descended around the boy. At the head of the troop was Gavin's grave face. The boy's eyes flashed to black, then turned red again. He let out a sob and shuffled toward Gavin. Gavin raised a hand, calling off the combat troops preparing to attack. He walked alone to the boy. "Please, please, save me. I've killed people. I didn't want to, but I couldn't control it." Regret, helplessness, despair, the boy's pain was in each heavy step, stepping on Gavin's heart. Gavin's hand dropped. Under his black leather glove, his hand tightened again into a fist. "Thank you, Mr. Gavin. You saved me before. Promise you'll kill me now. You like this story? Okay." As the boy kept pleading, a storm of sand surged around him, expanding like a cyclone, enveloping the whole entire town in an instant. Gavin thought of his past with the boy, the smiles and the tears, and the conviction-filled promises he'd made to the boy's father. Thick blood oozed out of his clenched jaw. As he stood there, the veins standing out in his neck made him look like a tightly drawn bow.
No. You can't die.
The devil's bargain he'd signed with his father flashed in his mind, along with the pain he felt lying on the operating table as they transformed him. The gears of fate were turning forward, and everything from the past was ground to dust that day. You love stories that make you happy? Well, this story is definitely not going to make you happy. A little boy just asked someone to kill him. But this day, why did it come so early? The boy before him stopped pleading. He knelt before Gavin, his tear-streaked face devoid of hope. "Thank you. You saved me before. Now death is my final request." He spoke in starts and fits. No, he's not. He's Gavin. He's actually, your childhood is ruined. Yep, exactly. I told you this game is not for people under 17. He's actually a policeman. He does good deeds, but I don't think he's going to be doing a good deed right now. This doesn't sound very promising. Please, help me protect my dad. Thank you. Gavin closed his eyes and slowly raised his hands.
I promise you, I will protect everything dear to you. I'm sorry.
His trembling words and tears disappeared into the dust. In silence. What the fuck? You need a well-connected person to get the permission to shoot in the hospital. I always come back. Indeed. Yeah, it's always a cliffhanger like that. Which composer will you choose to dub in sentimental music for the documentary? Alright. I think I'm actually going to get 3 stars on this one, maybe. Nope, I only got 2. Oh. Yay, I got money. Okay. Wow. Alright. A cliffhanger and we don't even get to see how it ends. What? Okay, whatever. After a roller coaster of a day, I put down my warm glass of milk from Mr. Mills and looked out the empty city, my mind spinning with thoughts. Without all those lit up houses, the world looked like it did in the beginning, and also the end. Did murder or unexpected promise just occur? No murder yet! But a child did ask Gavin to kill him. How are you, Spirit? Welcome. I wasn't passively waiting for the apocalypse anymore. I was doing my part. Even though it was the future, I still changed it. I breathed deep and pulled my blanket over my head so I could fall asleep. The moment I closed my eyes, a face flashed in my mind that I'd never seen before. He was wearing a shirt exactly like Victor's and was the same size as him. He turned, gave me a look of chilling indifference, and then fell into a puddle of blood. I bolted upright, gasping for breath, beads of sweat on my forehead. Who was he? Why did he appear in my dream? I closed my eyes and tried to see more, but nothing came, not even one little vision. After who knows how long in the quiet room, a long, slow breath was heard. That wasn't my breath. The hair on my neck stood up. I lifted my head, and before me was a face just like mine. It was her again, the other me. She smiled at me, looking like the purest of angels, even in her all-black dress. I've mostly been sleeping, ready for the wildcard SL rotation. Yes! Everybody's excited about that. Thank you for taking me out of there. I didn't really know the way. I searched a long time till I found you. Her voice was soft, as if it had magic power, and my heart gradually settled down. I wanted to ask her about the new life she mentioned last time, but the words wouldn't come out. I know you want to ask me something. She walked to the window, sat down quietly, and drew a design on the window with her finger. I used to be like you, thinking I could change the world. But later, I realized I was wrong. She reached out and gently rubbed my hair. My head once again had a large, clear image of that strange man's bloody face. She's wearing a black dress. Why? That's not racist. That's a dress that's colored black. His name was Evan. This afternoon, when you were saving Victor, he had a car accident on Moon Street. His wife had just given birth to a baby girl. My mind buzzed as if I'd been struck in the temple by some blunt instrument. The exact same clothes, the exact same silhouette. Did my changing the future cause the death of another innocent person? Tears burst forth. I felt weighed down by 1,000 pounds. It can't be. I saved Gavin too, in the fire. A look of pity came over my counterpart's face. And because of it, he lost his evol. This short little sentence shattered the last hope I had. Gavin's pained face by the seaside played in my mind again. Even though he regained his evol later, I was still the cause of that one. Turned out, everything was because of me. It was all my doing. A deep despair came over me. My body shook, and despite the summer evening, the room was frigid. The future cannot be changed. I understood that too late. Perhaps you'll see the truth sooner. At 1917, 7 days from now, humanity will go extinct. The research you're hoping on won't make it in time. It takes 10 days to recover from the virus. Everyone who's passed through our life will disappear with us too. This world is going to end. But don't worry, you'll reawaken to a new world, taking their memories with you, like I have. I kept shaking my head no. It couldn't be. How can I stand quietly by while everyone vanishes? All of my friends, family, even the people I just passed by, they were all going to die? Nothing can save them except you. I will come back to find you. Sorrow and compassion showed in the eyes of the other me. She wiped away my tears, then bit by bit disappeared in front of me. A crisp, clear sound resonated in the still of the night. Shaking, I turned my head. The cat cup had shattered. Just its eyes were still intact, staring at me. Oh my gosh! She broke my cat cup that I made for Victor! That's so mean! It broke the peaceful silence, coming completely out of nowhere. Oh gosh, did someone hear it? But why would she do that? Why would she draw attention? I was so frightened and kept closing and opening my eyes, hoping it was just a dream. Yeah. But the glass fragment still lay there, taking everything I believed and turning it to dust. Through the open window, a bone-chilling wind steamed in. It filled my heart that was cracked open by the shattered glass so that it wouldn't close back up. You little, I know! So no, Victor didn't hear the cup break? I would have thought Victor would have heard the cup break. I found myself out of bed, frantically picking up those shards, trying to put the cup back together. Is this the way I can reverse the events of this evening? Does it have to be this way? I gripped the shards and blood ran from between my fingers. My hands were all numb. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, this is where things are getting darker. So, yeah. Might be a little bit triggering, so just be aware. It wasn't so painful after, oh my god. After all. Glass shatters are hit or miss to hear. I almost never hear them now. Suddenly, a pair of scalding hands covered mine.
Let go.
What was I doing? Like squeezing it as hard as I could? The hell? Oh, that's the best picture except for the blood. Oh my god, look at my hands. The next moment, I had fallen into the arms of someone behind me.
Do you understand? Let go.
I kept trying to get free, but I was trapped in those arms by a powerful force, unable to move. You let me go. I gritted my teeth and flailed, not wanting to look at Victor for fear of breaking into tears. He didn't speak. Tin if blood wasn't there, cute otherwise, yeah. But his heavy breathing seemed to drown out everything in the night.
I will not.
Why won't he let me go? No, the cat cup is pretty bad. I mean, she was literally self-harming. He seemed to say this through gritted teeth, as if I'd disappear if he let me go. I kept trying to pry his fingers open, but I couldn't make them budge.
Don't be stubborn.
I had no more strength. I lay on his shoulder and let all my sorrow and pain out in heaving sobs. I knew I shouldn't cry, but all the stress built up over time finally erupted. In the end, I couldn't even accomplish this one little goal. I couldn't save anyone. I couldn't change the future. I couldn't even save a cup. I just wanted to put the cup back together. That's all. Why can't I even do such an ordinary thing like that? Victor squatted down, not moving, and just held me tight and hard. They say in the face of adversity, you have to stay hopeful, but I was totally defeated. Perhaps I was wrong from the start. I was crying so hard I could barely breathe, and I stayed like that for a long time until I could start to feel the earth spinning. Victor crush moment, yeah. I was picked up by Victor and placed gently on the bed. In the black night, I couldn't see if his eyes were red or not. I could only hear his unsteady breathing and feel a warm bandage covering my fingers. I pulled back my hand, turned away, and curled up in my blanket. I'm sorry. I know I promised you today, so I don't want you to see me like this weak and stubborn. Victor sat by my bed, not moving a muscle as he looked at me. Time seemed to go at a crawl, and even seemed to have stopped altogether. The pain in my heart suddenly became intense. I struggled to stop crying and make myself look like I'd fallen asleep. Then I felt a pair of hands tenderly wipe away my tears. On the gentle night wind, I heard a low voice filled with an irrepressible grief.
Tomorrow is a new day. I will bring back your past self.
Victor then looked out of a window for a long time, then gently closed it and left. When his footsteps had faded in the distance, I opened my eyes, tears streaming out. I bit down on my fist to hold back the sound of my sobbing. It turned out all those clever decisions I'd made, all my struggles and valiant attempts, they were all done in the face of a foregone conclusion. It turned out I couldn't hold on to anything. Hello, Jack Frost! With hollow eyes open, I lay there helplessly. All of my recent joys and celebrations had turned into a sharper blade, cutting away my soul. I know, it's rough. Because I've felt like this. I've felt like this before. I feel like this a lot of times still. You got a new computer monitor, so now you have two? Nice. Outside the window came the pitter and patter of a light rain starting to fall. But I had no more tears to cry. I felt like that too, where I've had no more tears to cry. You got back from Guatemala on Wednesday? Nice. Hope you enjoyed it. Am I braver when I believe or when I doubt? How many more do we have? Because I want to try to get to the end of this one. But I'm getting hungry. But I want to try to get to the end of this one. So, because the next thing we go to is a new volume. So, the new volume is Daybreak. So I'm trying to get to the end of this one. So next week we can start on Daybreak. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Did you enjoy it? Alright. You need someone who has worked in a neighborhood committee to be the host. A photographer. Okay. Probably gonna be 1 star. Let's go. Aw, that's awesome. At least they were able to play with you and have fun. Alright. Let's see what the answers on my post are. Believe the future is always changing, is what Victor said. Lucian said, know your fear and face it. That's two contradicting statements. That doesn't help. Who am I gonna listen to? At some point, I must have fallen asleep. The piercing sun hit my eyelids. A new day had come. I also became more acutely aware that there were 6 days left to the extinction the other me spoke of. I didn't want to explore again whether it was really true or not. I was too tired. Mr. Mills was at the door. I hurriedly wiped away tears and opened it. Miss Pegasusangel YT, have you seen the boss? I can't find him. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad you were able to talk to him. I just woke up. He's not in his room? No, I've looked all over. It's fine. You get some rest. You didn't sleep well last night, did you? How do you know that? You taught some kids English? That's awesome. I got to do that when I went to Nicaragua. I got to teach them some English words. Just basic English words, but it was fun. I felt my puffy eyes and felt a little embarrassed. Oh, the boss hasn't been looking well lately either, and I don't know where he went to. I was a little stumped too. Where could Victor have gone? Came back! Welcome back, June! Because they were constantly trying to take my glasses and wear them. Aww! After some thought, I decided to go find him. First, I washed my face so it didn't look so puffy. So I'm gonna go look for Victor? A lot happened. Oh my gosh, we had a really, really, hard-hitting scene where the character is basically totally just helpless and depression. Just helplessly in depression. I don't know why I'm going to go get Victor or try to find Victor when he already told me not to do that last time, but okay. Bedroom, study, library, kitchen. He wasn't in any of them. I was getting anxious. Last night he said he'd bring back my past self. Where did he go? I stood in the empty hall, unable to think of anything. Suddenly, a light blue shard appeared before me, lying on the floorboard, glinting in the sunlight. Is the best sudden way to explain, yeah, honestly. I looked up. The ceiling was the same, but there was a little button on the wall. I pushed it lightly, and a wooden staircase slowly descended. I climbed up, and through dust and light, I saw Victor sleeping against a wall, all alone. His tall frame was hunched over in the little attic, still wearing the same wrinkled shirt. One hand hung down at his side, and the other was placed carefully on his leg. In that hand was the glass cup, glued back together piece by piece. Aww! I'm such a girl! Oh my gosh, when that happened, oh my gosh. He realized that it was that important that he decided to glue it back together. Aw, that's sweet. Okay, anyway. Victor held it tight, as if scared of it, dropping again. I felt choked up, and tears started to fall. I tiptoed over to the window and squatted down beside him. Victor slept soundly, his head lowered, his bangs seemingly longer. I'd realized he'd gotten a lot thinner since coming back from the future. It seemed every time I saw him, he was quite a bit thinner than the last. The dark circles under his eyes were an unmistakable sign of how weary he was. That busted cup looked totally out of place next to him. Victor said he was going to bring back the past me, but did I want to see him like this? The former Victor was proud, severe, a spring in his step, and always on point. Not like this person today, wasting a whole night sitting in here. It shouldn't be like this. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have to be so hard, put, and haggard. As I looked at him, countless scenes flickered before me like a movie. His sudden appearance in the mountains at dusk. The way he held my hand on the street that afternoon. How he sat by me through my night of despair. And it was not a good night. And all the little interactions I'd had with him in this time. I felt so bad for him, but I also couldn't bear to wake him up. I just squatted by him, took out a bandage, and taped up a wound on Victor's finger. This is all I can do. I gently took Victor's hand, and the next moment a scene appeared before my eyes. In the shaky vision, I saw a tear streak down from Victor's red eye, slowly and solemnly. I saw his trembling hands and pained face. Behind him was a white light, like the final moment before the apocalypse. Why would someone as self-confident and proud as him have a look like that on his face? It was a mournful sorrow I'd never seen before. I took back my hands, not wanting to see any more. Victor's eyes were still closed, but his brow was knitted and his body taut, huge beads of sweat rolling down his forehead. Helplessness and despair suffused his face, as if he was scared of something in a dream. I turned away and bit down on my hand, unable to hold back a torrent of tears. I clearly knew the decision I had to make. But people weren't so simple. When it comes to others, we always know what's right and moral. But when it comes to ourselves, we tell ourselves, I've got to look out for me, forget the world. Before any hero becomes a hero, whoever asked them if they're willing or not. But the people around me, some were beset by disaster. Some had lost their way and lost their faith. Many more had lost their whole lives. The future couldn't be changed. I didn't have any more weak excuses to justify running and hiding. I didn't want to be a superhero, but I wanted to protect those around me. Sometimes people just don't have a choice. No matter how attached I was, how much I didn't want to let go, I couldn't look back. I know, this whole chapter has been really hard-hitting. If my sacrifice could restore peace, then that was a price worth paying. Tears fell on Victor's hand. The next second, his slender eyes had opened. A pair of gentle hands climbed up my cheeks, and my tears were wiped away one by one. I looked at him, unable to say anything, just staring in silence. Victor took away his hands and straightened his wrinkled shirt.
What are you doing here?
His voice was a little hoarse. I found my past self. As I spoke, I rubbed back tears and gave Victor a big smile like before, free and open. Look out for me, not the world, yep. Victor was taken aback a moment. Then he looked very away awkwardly. But that can be so hard too, because a lot of times I want to look out. He sounds so tired, yeah. I want to look at the world before I look at myself, because I don't like looking at myself. You know, I don't like looking at myself. I do try to look out for myself, but I tend to look out for people over myself, which is one of the things I'm working on in like therapy and stuff. Which is why I have a friend trying to convince me to cook.
That smile is acceptable.
Acceptable? Does he know I'm faking? I laughed. Things seemed to be looking up. That was good. Victor, I think I understand what you said was right. Tomorrow is a new day. Is this game now therapy? Yes, sorta. Lately, my emotions have been all over the place. I'm sorry. This time, I really mean it. I won't keep going like this. I mean, any game you play has aspects of it that... well, at least any game I've ever played has aspects of it that make me look at myself and be like... You know... Sometimes some of the stuff I need to hear in this game, I need to hear it. You know? So one thing about games is I get so into them that I can actually be the character in the game to the point that sometimes I hear things and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's exactly how I feel about myself. And that's how I learn about myself too, is through gaming. All right, see you later, Freddy.
Can I trust you?
I'm not crying wolf this time. Although I am. Still seemingly a little doubtful, Victor raised his eyebrows, but in the end he said nothing.
Here.
He gave the glass cup back to me. Thank you. You did a nice-looking job. As if there was sunshine in his voice, Victor started to sound a little cheerful.
It wasn't easy.
He seemed to have more to say, but he just stood up and walked out.
I know you're worried about something. Don't underestimate yourself. And don't underestimate me.
He's like reaching out so hard. Telling me, please tell me what's going on. He's reaching out so hard. And that's why this chapter has really hit hard. Or this chapter 18 has really hit hard because he's reaching out so hard, being like, I'm here for you, I'm here for you. Come talk to me. But the character's not doing that because it's easier to push people away. His back was straight, and in the sunlight, he looked tough and persistent. This was that same forever proud man I knew. I laughed as a tear ran down my cheek. As he walked away, I mouthed the word, thanks. Victor, you'll never know how you gave me the courage to keep on living. And I don't regret the decision I made today. Free therapy sesh, no kidding. This time, put everything on my shoulders and let me be your hero one last time. I don't think Victor's gonna be very happy about this. I've realized that we don't live for a lifetime, or for days, months, and years. We only live for a few moments. This is getting a little dark. Not gonna lie. Let's see if we can get to the end of this chapter with the cards and company people I have. Oh my gosh. If I can't have one that's got a good score. Okay, thank goodness. I had one. Alright. Let me give you a ride home. It's very appropriate that this chapter is starring Victor and the cards we are using is Victor. Your courage is perhaps most worthy of praise. My patience is limited. What is your answer? So that's 1 star. Probably. Yeah. At least I'm getting a star so that we can continue the story. Oh, he is. He's definitely giving off boyfriend vibes. They all do. All the boys in this game give off boyfriend vibes. Close to evening, the hottest part of the day had passed. But summer this year was hotter than ordinary. There wasn't a single ripple on the sea, and even the mountains in the distance seemed asleep. There was only the mechanical sound of a violin swirling in the air. Fingers drifted across the violin strings. Before the open case, a pair of black shoes appeared. That utterly forgettable face looked up and saw Victor, a stern look on his unmoving face. Why didn't you listen to my warning? You will be punished. Victor stood with arms folded, not making a move.
Zero, our goals are the same.
Does this place take place in Texas? But that was before today. Victor's eyelid finally twitched and then grew even more still. This world is facing collapse. I won't linger here too long. A surging tide crashed on the beach, splashing the hem of Victor's shirt. He finally loosened his pursed mouth.
I'm afraid you can't go back.
Another high wave crashed toward them, hitting the violin and making a tense noise. The time observer's eyes suddenly shook. It was you who made me come out ahead of time. Was today you too? What do you want anyway?
Partner with me.
I can't do it. Victor's face grew chillingly cold. A taut violin string snapped. No one in this world can. It only exists for 1,000th of a second. It can't be paused. He looked at Victor, seemingly hoping Victor would accept it and move on.
Go on.
I can tell you when it will appear, but know this, everything lost will be repaid by you. Unlimited repayment. You could have become one of us.
That's enough. I've only ever had one goal. It will not change.
The sunlight reflected off the waves into his face, hazy and calm in his jet black eyes. I wish there was a purple sky in real life, too. There was a determination and fierceness deeper and colder than even the sea. All times had been wrong from the very beginning. The time observer shook his head and walked away from the beach. Victor looked up. A scattering of stars had appeared in the night sky, each twinkling and alone. Okay. Oh gosh, I hope I can pass this. I may not be able to pass it. I may have to wait till next week to finish this chapter. Oh no. In 2 weeks. Let's see. Really banking on Victor. Okay. Victor came through. It's just rare, yeah. Got two crowns. I don't know how much more we have. Let's see, last chapter had 25. Okay, so we probably got a little bit more before we get to the end. Witch tree? What? Oh. Alright, back into the fray. Don't know how much... Whoops. We are on chapter 18, part 22. So I think we're getting close to the end. Now that my decision was made, I had a lot to do in the week before the end. I came to the empty office, running my finger over a flower on a desk. Post-its next to my computer still reminded me of upcoming work. I arranged them on paper. Then I wrote down the name of every employee. What are my thoughts on the purple sky? I think it would be pretty. Anna, always by my side. Kiki, that happy little nut. Willow, bursting with energy. And that silly miner. I seem to hear the laughter from days gone by, the fights, the nights spent in the editing bay. They were just ordinary days, so ordinary, but because of those people, I cherished them. I silently wrote messages to all of them, and then had one more look around the office. Okay, so we all kind of know where this is going. Because, yeah, a miner. Yeah, his name is Miner. So, anybody that knows, like, really, really, really depressed people, this kind of stuff can happen. And the only reason the character is doing this is because the person that in the black dress who said that the character was the queen, but that she was her, I'm not even sure anymore. I'm confused on that. Told her that the only way to fix the future was for her to die. So the fact that she's writing messages and preparing things just be, and I've said this at whenever it started getting dark, just be aware there are triggers here apparently. So just please, if you need to take a step back, I totally understand. So I only wrote messages to all of them and then had one more look around the office. If you can, please help me keep this dream of ours alive. Please. On the street, I walked into the only automated convenience store open as I grabbed a bag of chips. I fantasized about whether another hand would reach for it with mine. Then a voice would speak, and I'd turn my head and see those eyes beaming with pure sunshine. This time, I wouldn't give in to you. These chips are all mine. I muttered to myself, then grabbed all the chips and left the store. Chappelle Roan? Who is that? I left just one bag printed with a Batman design on it, sitting all by itself on the shelf. So that if Keto ever comes back, he can have his Batman card. Because so far we've lost everybody. They're like, we saw Keto a couple weeks ago, but it wasn't Keto. He went by Helios, and then he told us he was Keto, and then he told us we had to forget that he was Keto. It was nuts. She's a singer? Oh, okay, cool. I guess I'll leave you one bag, so if we meet again, don't go stealing mine. I'll definitely search her up after stream. I stopped at the gate of the orphanage. It was now an asylum taking in lost children. New walls, new flowers in the trees. The only thing the same was the laughter of the children. I handed out the bags of potato chips to them. This is a little gift from your favorite star, Keto. Keep it a secret. He wanted me to tell you, don't be afraid. Everything's going to get better. The children's eyes went wide and they held up their fingers, making a hush sign. Before I left, a shy little girl tugged on my clothes. Miss, will you come back again? No one's visited us in a long time. I lightly patted her head. Tears unexpectedly formed in my eyes. When everything is better, I'll come back and see you all. It's a promise. Carrying that guilty lie with me, I came to the campus of Loveland High. The place hadn't changed at all since last year. The only thing that had changed, perhaps, was me. The campus was empty. I walked along the familiar stone path toward the piano room. In my memory, it was a summer day like this. I stood at the podium reciting a commencement address, seeming to see a face in the very back, shining in the piercing sun. That day, the green ginkgo leaves swirled all along the path from the piano room to the chapel. I eased open the door to the piano room and tapped out the melody that connected me to the boy. Emotions ran through me, our first encounter on a rainy day, snatching glimpses of his athletic body during PE class, my tears being gently swept away by the wind. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have known how big and roomy it felt wearing a man's shirt. Wouldn't have known how fresh and bright youth could be. I turned my head. I could almost see the ginkgo leaves were drifting outside the window, and one small one carrying a paper plane made so lovingly by the boy. All songs have an end. No matter how much you want to go on, you have to bring it to a close. Before leaving, I folded a paper plane and placed it on the piano. So we've already gone back to where we met Keto. We went to the orphanage where Lucian took us several times and then gave out the chips, saying they were from Keto. Now we're in the piano room where Gavin used to listen to us play music and control the wind so the ginkgo leaves would swirl around us. So is our next stop going to be Victor or is it going to be Lucian? Let's see. Gavin, this time it's me saying goodbye to you, but I hope you never see it. After that, I wandered off and found myself at Forest Park. Okay, this is Lucian. If the apocalypse comes, I bet it won't be during summer. Turns out I had started to get things wrong way back then. I held out my hand. The sunlight filtered through my fingers, drying away my tears. I circled the park, finally finding a kite stand in a little out-of-the-way corner. Oh, this is our promise to Lucien that we would fly a kite with him. Oh. For anybody who doesn't know what this is, like, you'd have to watch the whole entire series to know what's going on. But all of this ties into previous chapters we've read. And this all ties into the last 3 volumes of previous chapters. There was a white-haired old man there, engrossed in his work of hand-painting the kites. Young lady, do you want to paint something? No. Just write something for me. I paused a moment. All the best. Short and sweet. The simplest words are the most sincere. The old man nodded, took up his brush, and wrote out the words. Holding the kite, I walked on a hillside. A boy sat under a camphor tree, holding his legs like the loneliest person in the world. Oh, we really are tying this back to Lucien, aren't we? Oh my gosh, they've been talking about the camphor tree. I walked forward and sat beside him. Were you talking to the cat that just went past? Animals don't understand human language. He didn't look at me and just kept staring silently at the ground. I laughed. As my mouth curled up in a smile, tears also came trickling down. This is for you. What for? It's to thank you for telling me that animals don't understand people. The boy looked up calmly, took the kite from me, and softly said thank you. I stood up and said goodbye to the boy. Miss, you don't want to fly it? Spring is over. Let's fly it next year. Without looking back, I left the park. Too bad I didn't have until spring next year. Oh, gosh.
Are you there?
Hi, Gavin. Totally not doing anything sus. Gavin? Is your mission over?
Yeah, it's over. Anything happened with you these past few days?
No, everything's been good. I haven't gotten any more letters. It's safe now.
Well, that's good.
What about you? Anything happen with you?
Why do you ask?
That scared the shit out of me, honestly. Me too. I thought it was going to be Lucien. No, I thought it was going to be Lucien, because Lucien is always the one that calls at the most, like, the worst parts of my life in this game. But it was Gavin. I just felt you were a little different today, but I can't put my finger on it.
Actually, if I was to change and become completely different from before, would you still trust me?
Of course. Everyone goes through changes, for good or for bad. We can't always stay stuck in the same place.
But what if this would totally change who I used to be?
It wouldn't. In my mind, you'll always be Gavin. Nothing can change that fact.
You're right.
Gavin, there's a question I've been pondering. Is some sacrifice necessary for peace?
Yes. We want to avoid it at all costs, but lots of times peace is built upon unfortunate sacrifice.
Then why would anyone want to be a hero?
Maybe no one really wants to, but still there are people who choose to do it anyway.
Even if they face endless pain, even death? Even if no one else will understand?
Yes. But I hope you'll never have to face a decision like that.
He's read through the lines already. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not that brave or strong. Oh yeah, when will you be back?
I still need a few days.
Really? You...
Yeah?
Nothing. You take care, Gavin. Goodbye.
I will. Bye.
Oh, gosh. At very last, I finally found the house where Dad and I lived when I was little. The mottled walls still had the lines on it, marking how tall I was each year. I passed my finger lightly over it, as if I was passing through all those years of my life. Dad, we'll see each other again soon. Oh my God! I do not like this. Okay, sleep. Get some rest. When I left, a light rain was falling. It seemed like every time something big happened in my life, it rained. I let the rain fall on my hair and shoulders. I'd never felt so at peace as I did in that moment. I couldn't keep anything. My dad, my friends, even the sunshine. But in that moment, I suddenly had everything. Freedom, courage, and acceptance. That's it then. I've said goodbye to the past. Now go forward and don't look back. Pit-pat, pit-pat. As I slowly raised my head, a shadow had covered me entirely. A soaking, wet Victor stood before me. He just stared at me, and time seemed to stop. My heart quickened, then I held out my umbrella to him.
You went out without your phone.
Did I? How did I go out without my... How did Gavin get a hold of me? What? This makes no sense. I went out without my phone, but Gavin just called before this chapter. So I'm confused. I'm very confused. How did Gavin call me if I didn't even have my phone? I don't know. Was that phone call one of those scheduled ones that they have in the game, like the news is, or was it one that just happened out of the blue? I don't know why it would have happened though. I haven't done anything to unlock a phone call. That's so weird. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna pretend like character goes without phone, meanwhile Gavin calls. Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend game logic. I forgot.
Don't wander off where I can't find you. Got it?
Dude, chill. I'm a grown-ass adult. I nodded and walked away with them. The August weather changed constantly. The rain died down, our faces reflected in the puddles. Seemed like the sun was going to come out. Victor, want to make a bet with me? If I win, then you have to go back to the old you. Ruthless and decisive. I bet that the future will change soon because of me. I could feel Victor halt for a moment.
What are you babbling about now?
I'm just saying. Would you take the bet?
You seem pretty sure you'll win.
Because I am pretty sure. Victor let out a laugh.
You won't win.
Why?
Did I ever say I'd take the bet in the first place?
You...
First, remember to take your phone with you when you go out. Then you can make bets with me.
Without another word, we walked home in the sunny afternoon weather. The days slipped by one after the other, and I felt better and better each day. Every day was good. Every night I slept well. I just waited for the dream me to come find me again. I thought that was how I'd spend the last week of my life, up until I received that letter. As always, it appeared out of thin air on the coffee table in a white envelope. A foreboding of extreme danger crept up my chest. The curtain is rising on humanity's last battle royale, and you will witness the final endgame. The location, Loveland City's largest quarantine zone. The time, tonight at 6 p.m. My heart froze. The other me said in 7 days the world would end. There was still 1 day left. So why this letter now? Was someone throwing fuel on the fire before it all went up in flames? And he was putting the lives of all those people in the quarantine zone at risk. I fell silent a long time, looking at the clock on the wall. It was 5 p.m. As if holding out hope, the second hand didn't keep turning, it was out of battery. As if holding out hope, the second hand didn't keep turning. It was out of battery. Or so we think. As far as we know, it was out of battery. I hid the letter, put my phone at the head of the bed, and slipped out of Victor's house. At this moment, I had nothing, but I also feared nothing. If he wanted me to step forward, then I would bravely answer the call. I wasn't dragging anyone into it, but I also wasn't going to let this kind of thing happen again. This was my first time coming to the central quarantine zone. It was at least a dozen floors high and looked forbidding and austere, surrounded by a shell of dark gray rebar. I got the sudden feeling that I had been here before. Probably for the battle royale. There were no guards, just an automatic gate slowly closing. I took a deep breath and was about to step inside. Pegasusangel YT. In the howling wind, someone called my name. A large hand grabbed my wrist as I was turning my head back.
You just go back on your word like that?
I opened my mouth but didn't know what to say. The gate was about to close in front of me. With a push, I freed myself from Victor and stepped inside. Oh, I'm drinking Dr. Pepper. I'm a Dr. Pepper person. I'm sorry. I have to. Before I could finish, the cicadas stopped. The wind stopped. The closing door stopped. And me. I had stopped too. What? I watched as Victor stepped through the crack in the gate and plodded toward me. What? Wait, what? His jet black eyes stayed locked on me as he marched forward. I was anxious and uncomfortable, but I couldn't move a muscle. How'd he do that? How'd Victor do that? What? I thought from previous that if an evol used a power, other evols couldn't be affected by it. Don't. Please, don't come in here. When he'd stopped in front of me, motion finally returned to the world. Why did you have to come in? I shouted at him in frustration and ran back to the door, trying to force it open. Victor pulled away my hand.
Is your bet still on the table?
Huh?
Listen closely. I'll make that bet with you.
He looked at me, his eyes piercingly cold.
Furthermore, I can guarantee that I'll win.
How are you gonna win? You don't even know what exactly is going on. Except that I'm in a really depressed state and I'm not myself. Scene designer, I have no good cards right now. The right music, okay, cool. Alright, 2 stars. I can handle that. Oh boy! Oh boy! This is gonna be interesting. I was pulled inside behind Victor into a spacious lobby. On all 4 sides were gray and white walls, and in the center of the space hung a gold cube. Footsteps came down each hallway. Groups of people wearing quarantine uniforms came streaming into the lobby in endless procession. I stopped a little girl passing by. What's happened? Why is everyone coming here? The girl kept going like she didn't hear me. Her face was numb, like a walking corpse. When the last person had entered the room, the doors were shut. In this sea of people, Victor and I were in the very center. Everyone I could see stared around guardedly with an empty look in their eyes. Zzz. The sound of an electric current was heard. Everyone looked up at the noise. The final performance has begun at last. It was a hoarse voice that had been run through a modulator with an evil glee to it that made it hard to discern if it was a man or a woman. but still I felt an inexplicable familiar feeling. With a bang, the metal box in the center popped open, and the sides lowered, revealing a transparent cube inside. 4 spotlights lit up the box, illuminating a clear test tube placed inside. No, not just a test tube. Inside was half a vial of a clear liquid. In front of you all is the world's one and only virus antidote. My heart jumped into my throat. I wasn't the only one. The eyes of everyone there lit up like beasts awakening in a gloomy forest, their faces full of ravenous hunger. But which lucky person shall receive it and be saved? You all have 5 minutes. Oh heck, 10 minutes. Use brute force to win it for yourself. Before the voice had finished talking, Victor and I had been pushed to the edge of the lobby. The packed crowd rushed forward, some falling, some shouting, stepping over each other in a frenzy. Without weapons, they tore at each other, with bare hands, which was even bloodier and more savage. Children sobbed, the elderly cried for help, and flesh struck against flesh, all before my eyes.
I can't stop time right now.
Victor's not able to stop time? You stopped me! How can you not stop time? What? What's keeping you from stopping time? He's supposed to stop time. He's a time evolve. He's able to stop the time. That's why whenever everything stopped around me and I was trying to go in the door, he stopped time so that he could keep me from going in the door without him. I was locked in Victor's arms and his face was tense and cold. Mama, help me. I'm hurt. A little boy fell in front of us. His mother was pushed to the side and could only cry out in panic, but no one noticed or cared. Seeing a group of people barreling the boy's way, Victor pushed away the person stepping on him.
Out of the way!
The man that was pushed cursed and raised his fist, but Victor quickly put him in a wrist lock. Are you okay? Was this an airport? No, this is a quarantine zone. But it's a lot like an airport right now because everybody's wanting the one single cure. I hastily helped the boy up. Everyone around seemed to stop for a few seconds, but then they went back to scrabbling, and the people up ahead didn't even notice the little incident. Everyone, settle down! I have a way! This vial only has one antidote. It can only cure one person, but I can ask the best scientists to research it. I tried to convince the crowds, but no one paid any attention to me. My voice was like a drop of water in a raging river. Stampeding feet were the cruelest of battle cries, signaling a war without gunfire. Now I understood the true significance of this so-called battle royale. This faceless person incited the most primitive desire in people with the greatest ease, and I was powerless before it. There's an antidote to cure the flu that has been, they're all fighting over one little vial of antidote for a flu that has been in Loveland City, which is where we live in this game. All I could do was watch the bloodshed, the crying, and the looting unfold before me. I told you! It's not just a dating sim, it's a horror story. It's sci-fi, it's gory, it's nuts. I didn't fear danger or harm, but what if one day that danger and harm was called humanity? A feeling of deja vu came over me. Fear, panic, despair. Right now, at this moment, there was absolutely nothing I could do. A twisted cheer arose amidst the throng. A man was holding up the antidote, and the crowd erupted. Victor and I exchanged looks and helped up people around us. Had it finally come to an end? The piercing voice sounded again right on cue. Congratulations, it's yours. Ha 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 ha, finally! That moment his eyes went wide as a knife slid into his stomach. A knife-wielding younger man quickly snatched away the vial. Why should only he get to have it? Kill him! Someone shouted and everyone rushed the young man as an even more savage brawl broke out. People tore at each other. This war would never end. I gripped Victor's hands tightly as he placed them over my eyes. Tears covered my face. This was all by your design, wasn't it? Ignoring everything, I shouted loudly in the direction the voice had come from. You're wrong. I never designed anything. This was all inevitable. That person laughed, the shrill sound like fingernails on a chalkboard. Look at these people. Some are writers, philanthropists, even movie stars. But in the face of desire, they're no better than dogs. As I swept over their faces devoid of anything but desire, something toppled in my heart. This is the essence of humanity. Who would want to save people like this? The voice laughed louder, a taunting tone mixed with endless malice and dread. Crash! The vial fell to the floor and everyone crawled toward it, trying to get even a few drops. The situation was becoming absurd, but it was all really happening. Dogs are better. Sometimes. I felt the world start spinning and everything before me blurred as black and white light strobed. In that moment, all the fragments of the past flashed crazily in my mind. Is this the humanity I want to protect?
Open your eyes. I'm by your side. These people are who they are, and you're still who you are.
No, I'm not, Victor. I don't think I am anymore. I turned and looked despairingly at Victor. He held my hands tight. Are these humans slaughtering themselves truly worth your compassion? I closed my eyes and drew in Victor's warmth and strength. These people... I took in this grim and terrifying scene. My body was shaking, but I tried to keep my voice firm. They may even be utterly incompatible, but this world still has people in it that I think are worth protecting. I won't give up on my goal because of these people. Then take a look at the kind of people your so-called righteous companions really are. A clear image appeared on the wall. Gavin? In the image, Gavin's face was pained and mournful. Standing before him was little Perry. Gavin raised a hand, covering the boy's face where the hand touched the boy's body. Covering the boy's face. Where the hand touched, the boy's body disintegrated. Despair and pain came over the boy's face, and the next second he was completely annihilated. Gavin knelt to the ground. I couldn't see his face, only feel his overwhelming despair. A pair of black boots appeared before Gavin. It was him, the silvered-haired man who looked just like Kiro. He lifted his chin and spoke.
I need your strength.
The brief scene ended, leaving me speechless. It felt like something in me was slowly fading away. Holy crap, what's happening? This is the true face of the world. Everyone you trust will hide from you, betray you. Only I won't. Who are you? Gunshots rang out. Everyone in the lobby hit the floor like dominoes. Victor covered me up in his embrace. In a few seconds, the ground was covered with people, eyes wide and breathing heavy. A thundering sound of footsteps came from outside, orderly and disciplined. Pow! The door was busted open, and STF agents in full battle gear quickly surrounded the scene. Eli, what are you doing here? STF received an alert that an evolver was causing a deadly incident here. Seems we were too late. An alert? I looked at Victor, and he shook his head at me. Could it be that one of the crowd called the police? Then the lights went out, and the windows all locked shut. The whole lobby plunged into darkness. I could just feel Victor's tense breathing next to me. Then a colored light lit up, then another, and another. Before us appeared a high stage, dazzling like a kaleidoscope under the colored lights. What a British moment. Oh my gosh. Slow, steady footsteps sounded, exceptionally clear in the darkness. I saw Eli turn around and give a look to his squad, and they all raised their guns. Victor pulled me back a few steps out of their firing range.
No matter what happens next, you're not to leave my side.
I nodded, but my eyes didn't leave the stage. A crazy idea sprouted in my head. The familiar tone and way of speaking, even so exaggerated. Then that black dress appeared in view. My thoughts froze. In that moment, it's her. It's really her. How could that be? As I looked at that familiar 20-something-year-old face, I started to cry. It was her, and she was me. She was wearing an all-black dress, along with an angelic smile on her face. She told me the world was ending, that I'd be reborn, that as queen I had a duty and a destiny. Then that meant the plan I decided to follow was all a lie? Eli looked at me in utter shock. He raised his gun, not knowing whether to stand down or not. Finally, no one's late. You're all here. That other me smiled and lifted her hem, making a curtsy. Who are you? She looked at me, an innocent look on her face. I'm you.
You are not her.
Yeah, it's because it's so late. Lots of people have probably gone to bed. His voice was cold and resolute. I could feel his steady heartbeat through his grip on my hand. A look of loathing flashed through the other me's eyes. I know what you're trying to do, but I'm sorry to inform you, we are one and the same. Then she looked at me with gentle eyes. I couldn't feel an ounce of malice. Don't be scared. I won't hurt you because you are me. I know you made your decision. I really am proud of you. But really, you don't want to die, right? I know. I will after I finish this chapter. I want to get to the end of this chapter. But I don't really sleep very good anyway. I'm a night person. I work nights, so on days like this, I don't really sleep really well. Usually I'll stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning. But June, man, I really appreciate how much you seem to actually care about me, even though you just met me today. That's really sweet. Thank you. You're good. I get it, Spirit. No worries. I figured either people were getting tired because it is currently 12:20 where I am, or that people were, you know, playing games and just lurking. Either way, it works. Now I'm going to wipe out these normal humans and restore you to my side. You see, if they're all gone, then there's no one to get in our way. Don't you understand me? She bit her lip and made a pathetic face. What do you mean? Don't worry. When they're all exterminated, we'll reawaken. Soon, all will come to an end. She laughed and twisted up a frozen white ball of light with her finger. The people on the ground suddenly arose with gray complexions and lifeless eyes, just like zombies. What are you doing? I said I wouldn't harm you. Everything you've been through, I've been through too. At first, we both chose sacrifice, but in the end, no one thanked me or remembered me. They even thought it was owed to them. After being saved, they saw that the existence of evolvers was a monster and a threat. Since they were of no use, humanity thought just exterminate. That started a widespread slaughter. When you want humans to make war, just tell them there's something more precious than life. When you want them to stop, just say nothing on earth is more precious than life. Her face grew thick with grief. A pain swelled in my heart, as if I could feel her despair then. I will. Don't worry, June, I will. Then I knew love and faith are the falsest currencies in the world. This world isn't worth saving one bit, because humanity will always be sordid beast. When you've already made your decision and you're suddenly told this, it must hurt, right? I just want you to know, sacrifice is useless. Killing them is the only way. I couldn't speak and my body kept shaking. Victor was standing in front of me. You still haven't given up. Your plan is sure to fail. It will only open tomorrow. The Time Observer was quite clear on that. Victor suddenly laughed, then turned his head and looked deeply in my eyes. His gaze was like an unfathomable galaxy, calming my fiercely trembling heart. I watched his hand hanging at his side slowly lift up. What was he going to do? Victor, you... He gave me a deep look, then turned his head toward the other me.
You're not her. Your face and your body are the same, but there's one place where you can't match her.
What?
Her eyes.
A black look flashed in the other me's eyes. Then she chuckled and twiddled the pallid light ball. No matter. It will be the same soon enough. In a flash, the light on the stage contorted, and the girl's light ball fell to the ground. Bang, bang, bang! Bullets rained down on the girl. I was pushed to the floor by Victor. Amidst the gunfire, I could hear Eli's intermittent words. Sorry, Pegasusangel YT. We got an order. We have to shoot her down. Before I could answer, piercing pain exploded across my body, spreading quickly. What was happening? Why did I feel like I was getting shot too? I couldn't speak. I could only clutch Victor's clothes and bite my lip till I drew blood. Shooting pain came one after another until I couldn't think or grasp that crucial truth. Suddenly, scenes from the past appeared before me. I saw Victor sitting on the bed, wiping my tears away. I saw Victor walking toward the attic to diligently put the cup back together. I saw Victor following behind me, getting soaked in the rain and holding an umbrella for me. I also saw his pained expression, how he let go of the broken sundial. The world suddenly turned to ashes. In that moment, my heart was even more torn than it would be from 10,000 bullets. I closed my eyes. The sound of guns firing stopped. Victor helped me to my feet. I saw the other me lying in a pool of blood, her body riddled with bullet holes. She's dead? Then a sudden intense feeling of separation exploded in my heart. Careful! Countless bullets paused mid-air along their trajectories. Thick smoke spread in the lobby. Stop! Stop! I gasped for breath and looked at Victor beside me. His body tensed up. Heh! The crisp voice sounded full of pity. In an instant, the gleaming metal objects reversed their direction, speeding towards us. I hit the floor again. Everything was dark before me. The distinct sound of a bullet penetrating flesh sounded in my ear. It was blood, spreading over my dress. Victor! As if I had a gun to my temple, all the light drained from my world. Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm almost done. I'm pretty sure we're almost done. And then I gotta eat before I can sleep. Victor winced and his face went pale. Blood spurted from his stomach, staining his black jacket. His hand fell to the side, cold as ice. For a moment, I wished the bullet had gone through my body instead. I trembled as I flipped him over, pressing on his stomach, my vision blurred with tears. Victor! Victor! Wake up! Victor! As the blood gushed out, his face became almost transparent. My heart felt like it was in a vice, and I couldn't get a breath of air. Fingers clutched my wrist, and then tenderly slipped away.
Dummy, you're pressing too hard.
He was almost laughing, but his mouth hadn't formed a smile. Victor! I wanted to hold his hand, but a strong impact laid me to the floor. A bloody, sweet liquid flowed from the corner of my mouth. I saw the other me slowly stand up, not a scratch on her, and all around her were fallen soldiers. You can't kill me. After all these times, you still don't understand. She looked at me, and her tone became much gentler. That hurt a lot just now, didn't it? Do you finally believe that we are one? Then she walked over to Victor, squatted down, and put her mouth next to his ear. I couldn't hear what she said. All I could see was Victor's brow twist. When will this catastrophe end? Hello, Blade Wolf! I clenched my fist. The chaos was like the end of the world. I had no time left, nowhere to run. Let's see. Careful person. It's also kind of hot in my house. I probably need to turn my air on. Makeup artist. Oh, okay. Well, welcome, Blade Wolf. We're almost done, I think. We're almost done with this chapter, so then I'll be ending. I got 1 crown. No, I got 2. Okay, I thought I only got 1. I got 2. That's not bad. Enough. I looked at the girl and forced myself to stand up. I am really needing to stretch. Sorry, guys. You couldn't be me, and I will never, ever become you. You've come this far, and you're still this stubborn? People who do wrong should be punished, but you don't have the right to judge them, nor do I. Only the law can do that. If I feel despair now, it's because I've experienced love countless times before from the humanity that you despise. Even if this world has many people not worth being saved by me, there are always some I want to protect. That makes me think it's all worth it. I turned to that boy and his mother that we just helped up, now lying on the floor, hand in hand. See, those people you see as filthy insects still have a shred of something you don't understand. That is a bond, a karma binding them together. You are not me, so you would never understand. Instead, you must perpetuate your evil sins on your own name. An indifferent sneer crept over the other me's face. Then she elegantly walked beside me, her body slowly becoming transparent, and she put her hand lightly on my shoulder. My sins are yours as well, are they not? Then let's start now. This might hurt a bit. Brace yourself. Before I could react, a flesh-tearing pain started penetrating my brain. I could almost see her proud face melding into my body. I will make you return to my body, and then destroy all of humanity. Countless black and white images suddenly flashed before me. Yeah, maybe go to bed if you're tired. I've been going longer than I thought I would because I didn't think the chapter was going to be this long. She and I grieving together, crying together, lying on an operating table together, facing a car accident together, bleeding together. That instant and utterly terrifying thought consumed me. She is me. I am her. I can feel all of her emotions and pain. Victor knelt on one knee, gritting his teeth, and slowly, so slowly, stood up. A silver light flashed in his right hand. It was the sundial watch. The thing that would never change in every precognition. I don't know where I got the strength, but it's if I'd used a lifetime's worth. I grabbed Victor's hand. Victor, I have a way, and I know it will succeed. Will you listen?
No need.
His black eyes seemed filled with too much, he wanted to say. My eyes moistened, and the tears in my body seemed to pause for a second. You never let me finish talking. This time you have to promise me. All right. An icy air spread over Victor's face. If this was before, I would be apologizing in fear to him. Kill me. I couldn't look at him. I didn't know how I even said those words.
Shut up!
She's entering my body now. If she succeeds, there's no going back. I wiped away a tear and tried to muster a smile. Don't worry, I won't die. Every other time, fate has snatched me from death. This time it will too. I'm begging you, don't let the me that I was slip away, will you?
Don't even think about it!
His face grew wider, and then he gripped my shoulders, his knuckles turning white. But in the future, you kill me. This is an unalterable fact. I finally said it, because this is the future you experienced. That time in the attic, just now on the floor. I saw that scene you wouldn't tell me about. I saw you kill me. They do lead interesting lives. I also saw your watch break, and your body get annihilated with everything. The things that I see can never change. So please, I'm asking you, kill me. Give this world a beautiful future. Please, allow the people I want to protect to live on. Blood blurred Victor's shirt. He gritted his teeth and his gaunt face twisted in anguish. As he lifted the watch, I stepped forward, leaned on his chest, and hugged him. A familiar, reassuring caramel-scented air enveloped me. I could feel his body stopped in place. You always ask me why I'm so bold. Why so self-confident? I remember the first time I saw you. I yelled in your face. But really, I'm timid. Often, I'd rather hide from the world than face the truth. I'm afraid I'll lose everyone around me, that I'll end up alone. I lifted my head and gave him my most tender look. Then I snatched the watch from his hand. You've never lost before. But this time, Victor, you lose. And I don't want to be the dummy anymore.
Give that to me.
I put my hand behind me and shook my head stubbornly.
Give it to me. Come on.
I finally beat you once. I spoke in fits and starts. Inside me, the most intense fire seemed to be burning my heart. Victor, in the future, you need to smile more. Don't always be alone. I'm really in pain now. Please, kill me. I beg you. I had no more strength to speak, and no more strength to cry. It would all end soon, right? Everything would go back to the way it was. My company would keep going, right? Anna would surely take them to #1 in Loveland. No, the country. Keto would come back, right? He'd keep being the brightest star and the baddest hacker I'd so like to know if he sees that bag of chips I left for him. Lucian's research would succeed, right? It must. He's so smart he can solve any crisis. I just have to postpone that date to fly kites for a lifetime. Gavin would definitely have it hard. I don't believe he killed the boy. In my heart, he's that boy that's always just and accepting. What must have happened to him? I didn't have time to find out, and never would. Dad, I'll see you soon. I wonder if I can make you proud now. I now truly understood my choice. It wasn't to be a hero, nor for so-called justice or grand love. It was for that unbreakable karma between us. Right now, I was so happy I could only see the futures of others and not my own fate. It let me be surprised, prevented me from running away, and made me accept it willingly. That consciousness kept pouring into my body. I felt like I could no longer fully control myself. I didn't know how I looked in Victor's eyes. I could only see his red eyes and distraught demeanor. I also saw scenes of each time he traveled through time. I saw him break the watch and return to the past. I saw him lean in my ear and tell me tomorrow was a new day. I didn't want to see anymore. Turned out I was a fool to the end, and all those familiar feelings were real, that I'd been through countless scenes like this. It turned out I'd given him pain so many times. Victor stepped toward me, alone and forlorn. Behind him, a white light in the air shone in all directions.
I don't admit defeat. I'll still win that bet.
You think so?
I always do what I say I will.
Then he raised the dagger tremblingly, tears falling from his bloodshot eyes. Oh my gosh, this is so sad. I closed my eyes, struggling to lift the corners of my mouth and give him one last smile. Victor, carry my memory and live on. Turned out, death wasn't that painful. In the last second before my consciousness dissipated, I heard these surreal words.
No matter where you are, I'll always find you.
I opened my mouth and disappeared into the air. That person was you all along. It was a white sky and streams of people wearing white, their faces brimming with happiness. It was a reopened amusement park, a school back in session, a beautiful world without me anymore. I laughed, turned my head and saw my still face. Beside my body was the other me. I reached out but didn't feel her breathing. I floated for days in a pure white world, aimless, watching my hair grow longer and my skin wrinkle. Time didn't seem to move forward, and cruelly, it also wouldn't let me go. Tick-tock. It was the sound of a second hand moving.
If I were still a little kid, I definitely wouldn't let you have the last bag of chips.
You should watch yourself. Someone can't come to your rescue every time.
Looking for Lucian? What's your business?
Surprised? You probably thought I would be in a jail rather than a police station, right?
That's all the stuff they said to us when we met. Drip. A bead of water fell on my eyelash. I saw two of me open their eyes. Okay, we are done. There is a wormhole, but we are not going to get into that tonight because it is already late. Later than I thought it was going to be. 12:39 a.m. We'll read the wormhole not next week, but the week after. All right, Wolf left, so bye. No worries. So yeah, if you liked that and you enjoyed the stream, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're new and you had fun, don't forget to subscribe. I always appreciate it. If I get 3K subscribers, I have to play Fortnite. It's the promise I made everybody, and I stay true to my promises. Oh, thank you. They're just reading glasses. Toxic dark romance books or a heartfelt tearjerker. Yeah. Yeah. To me, it was more of a heartfelt tearjerker because it's like I went through this whole journey, and at the end, I just remember first meeting them. You know what I mean? I gotta go to bed at 1 a.m. in the morning. I should probably be in bed because I gotta wake up at like 8 in the morning to drive somewhere. Yeah, promise is promise, but the best way to get me out there, if you really, really want me to hit that 3K subscribers, is sharing the streams that you enjoy or sharing the shorts you enjoy and getting my name out there. Because if you don't share it, then people don't find me. But anyway, I'm going to eat some food. And I'm going to get some sleep. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all, as always. We will come back to this in a couple. I'm not playing any game tomorrow, Doodle Bob. I will not be streaming tomorrow. I'm doing a 4th of July celebration with my family. My mom, my dad, and my dad tomorrow. We're going down somewhere that has fireworks, and we're going to watch some fireworks tomorrow. So I won't be streaming tomorrow or playing tomorrow, but there is a premiere of me singing Respectless that will be coming out at 11, and I will be in chat for that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here, and as always, much love, everybody. Mwah! Go out there, go spread some love and positivity today, because you never know who needs it. And I hope to see you guys on Monday at 7 p.m. when we come back to Hades. Yep, the premiere. And then the premiere will take you to someplace special. So if you stay at the premiere, it will redirect you somewhere special. And I suggest wherever it redirects you, you go there. But anyway, I'm going to head out for the night. And I hope you all have a good rest of the night. Thank you for staying as long as you did, for being here as long as you did. It really means a lot. Thank you for caring about my health. I appreciate you all. You all are amazing. And I will see you guys on Monday. Bye, everyone!